2 feet of snow as well, all associated with this band of snow that had set up across there. Our first visible satellite images, guys. This is a view from space. You can see the huge circulation here with the storm, the center of the system located right there now. A lot of precipitation back here along the coastal areas, and you can see the radar, the network of radars, that snow all the way from New York City, where you're getting into a little light snow again down here, all the way up along the coast. We do have a band of snow that is moving westward, and we're concerned about this, that is still going to put down a couple of inches of snow here across western Long Island and into the city. But this is where the big game is going to be the rest of the day. This is running from Boston northward along the Maine coast here at 295 corridor, and they're up through Bangor, where we're going to get double-digit snows for the rest of the afternoon here. Here is the computer model starting this morning. Now let's move this forward, and as we do, you see how the snow just stays locked in from Boston right up through Portland and Bangor. This is through 8 p.m. tonight. It's later tonight that Boston finally sees that snow work its way eastward. Still down along coastal Maine here. A lot of backwash from this system producing the snow. Wind gusts are going to continue to be very significant. Look at these winds here running in through this afternoon, 50 to 60 miles an hour. Here's my concern as we get into that high tide around 5 p.m. this afternoon are the north-facing shores here. You see that wind coming right in here. It's these shores right in here where I expect to see another round of coastal flooding. So, Sam, we're going to keep you updated on this throughout the day. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Tom Nizzle giving you the latest information. This is a storm that we need to pay attention. There are still people at risk, gathering more snow, getting more wind, and the coastal effects. This continues right now on the Weather Channel with Kate Parker and Maria LaRosa.
Sam, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today on Weather Center Live. I'm Maria LaRosa.
And I'm Kate Parker. Winter Storm Juno far from over at this point. The northeast coast still dealing with this historic storm, and it's not just the snow and blizzard conditions, but as Tom Nizzle was just saying, it's the coastal flooding that's also a major threat.
We are going to break down what we can still expect from this Winter Storm Juno, plus all of the incredible video and live images we continue to get in. Like this one, this is pretty scary. If you can't tell what you're looking at, it's an open door, Kate.
Yeah, check that out. The snow has piled up so high, you can just see at the very top, there's a little bit of an opening where the snow was coming in over that bank. So that's what people are opening their doors to this morning.
And just one of many incredible images we'll continue to show you throughout the next few hours. We want to catch you up, though, on the latest on Winter Storm Juno. Travel bans have been lifted in the entire state of New Jersey and in New York City. Mass transit in New York and the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey are resuming operations today.
And as expected, we were talking about the power outages that were anticipated. Massachusetts, it looks like you have no electricity to 30,000 customers in Massachusetts alone. And the U.S. Postal Service has suspended mail delivery today in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New York.
And as we've been mentioning, parts of the Northeast still getting blasted by Winter Storm Juno. Storm tracker Jim Cantori is live in Boston this morning. Jim, good morning to you. We've been watching these heavy bands roll in through you one after another.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing here in Boston. We've got about a foot of snow on the ground, probably somewhere between 12 and 14 at this point. But, you go off to my west toward Shrewsbury, and there's 26 on the ground. So, they almost doubled what we got just because they sat in the band there. Long Island, if you're basically from LaGuardia to Islip, 40 miles, there's a 10-inch snow gradient there. So 11 inches versus 21. Big difference in through there. By the way, my dad was a postmaster for 30 years. He'd be out delivering the mail today. That's all I want to say about that. Anyway, let's check out what we got going on here as we look at the snow tally. Guys, here's the deal. 14.5 inches here. This was in 2 inches already. So 12.5 here at the Commons. Beautiful snow, though. Light, fluffy snow. Just a gorgeous winter day. Not a lot of wind here, whether I'm protected or not. Obviously, it's a lot stronger on the coastline. Kate, you mentioned the 30,000 without power. I think it's MEMA just reported about 27, so somewhere around 30, no question about it. But it's not on the trees. This beautiful little sugar maple here, she's doing just fine. She'll be all right. No weight of wet snow or whatnot. But this is gorgeous. We got about, almost knee-deep snow in through here. And it's a light, powdery snow. So if you're going to be skiing the areas of New England today, a little bit later on, if you get to head up to the mountains, once they open up the roads, things should be a lot better off. But it's the power outages. Stay off the roads. Let the beautiful state of Massachusetts and Rhode Island and Connecticut just continue to clean things up. We talked to Governor Malloy earlier, and he was talking about how wonderful things have gone so far with the removal. And that just means you will get back on the roads sooner. All right, another high tide cycle, potentially troublesome for our friends down there in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Mike Seidel on standby. Mike, what are they anticipating for later on today as that next high tide comes in?
We don't expect it to be quite as bad, Jim. We've been talking about how the wind is backing a little bit. It's not northeast or north-northeast. It's more north, and it may go a little north-northwest. High tide coming in later on this afternoon. As the sun goes down and gets dark, we'll likely see some more water come up in here. This is the front yard of the East Bay Grill, and you can see the harbor out here. Still a lot of whitecaps, still some water in the parking lot. This whole lot was underwater earlier this morning. We had waves crashing over here, and it looked like it was just an extension of the harbor. Now the water has backed off, but the water came all the way around here, and you can see how it was channeled by this huge dune of snow, the snowdrift. Snowdrifts all the way back here. Some of these are 3 to 4 feet deep, and that's all you see around town. The howling wind still gusting over 50 miles an hour, 8 consecutive hours, and although the snow rate has backed off for now, and we've gotten most of our snow, we've had 18 inches in South Plymouth, we're still going to have the blowing and drifting going all day long as temperatures hold here in the low 20s. Wind chills, Jim, right above zero. So it's a nippy cold out here today as we deal with power outages. About 30,000 between NSTAR and National Grid statewide. Back to you.
All right, guys, so again, as Mike's saying, the winds are going to come around a little bit from the north-northwest, and that puts a whole different area under the gun, certainly, for those power outages. So now if you're on the west side of the Cape, all right, or on the north side of the Cape, you're going to have to watch out for the overwash. Tides are still running much higher than they normally would be because of this storm and the wind over the water. So, guys, be careful out there at the time of high tide. Other than that, Maria, again, stay off the roads. That's the best advice we can give you. Let them stay ahead of the snow, which all 3 states here that I'm talking about, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, have done swimmingly with staying ahead of it. Back to you.
Agree completely, Jim, and great advice. The sooner you can allow those crews to get the work done, the better chances you have of getting quickly back to normal. But we still have a bit to go. This is a fantastic graphic, really helps you visualize how much further we have to go in a city like Boston. Keep an eye on this purple. That's where we expect, so during the lunchtime in towards the early part of the evening, late afternoon, blizzard conditions are still possible. That means reduced visibility and lots of wind. And Kate, snow eases up by tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Maria. So let's go ahead and go out to Dr. Greg Postel. He's in the lab for us this morning. We've got to get a perspective on, okay, how is this moving along? We saw that band that had tremendous snowfall rates. Is that still kicking?
Yeah, it is. You know, this thing is crawling along. It's really, I wouldn't say stationary, but say moving like 10 miles per hour, something like that. The surface low is about 100 miles to the east-southeast of Cape Cod. Let's have a look at the map, and I can show you where the surface cyclone is, down to about 975 millibars. Probably will go a little bit lower than that, but it's near peak intensity in terms of lowest pressure. But a lot of the precip remains on the northwest quadrant there, guys, and it is going to continue to snow really hard across parts of eastern Massachusetts and Maine for much of the afternoon. Look at some of these numbers still yet to come. So add what you've already got on the ground, and there is a lot more coming, guys. Let's time it out. As you can see, going through the afternoon hours, this thing only moves about 150 miles in the next 12 hours or so into the Gulf of Maine and continues to thrash eastern New England with high winds and heavy snows. Maria and Kate, back to you guys.
All right, Dr. Postel, thank you so much. Still much more to come on Winter Storm Juno, including all of the incredible video that everybody's been sending us. Let's take you live right now to Portland, Maine, where snow is still heavy.
12 degrees there. Make sure you're bundling up and just don't go outside.
Home, Dad.
Thanks, buddy.
Does he know what he's doing?
He knows what he's doing.
Ready, Star Command. Prepare for launch.
This should be good.
To infinity!
We all have a Disney side.
Everyone in the car, let's go get them.
And the best place to show it is Disney Parks. So come to the place where the entire family can laugh, let loose, and play together. Disney Parks. Come on, it's time to show your Disney side.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
Introducing a PM pain reliever that dares to work all the way until the AM. New Aleve PM, the only one to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour strength of Aleve.
Thrilled to have Jim Cantore on the show. He's been through like 80 tropical systems.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Watch Jim Cantore, Sam Champion, and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ, weekday mornings at 7. Stay with us for the latest on Winter Storm Juno.
We're far from over with this.
We're live from across the region with more in a moment. Only the Weather Channel.
Let's go from our little girl to all grown up. Let's say out with the old and in with the options, like that one, or those, with features like this. Let's get exactly what we imagined for less than we thought, and turn a modest budget into a majorly stylish bath. New bathroom, no problem. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Shop stylish vanities in-store and online.
Nexium 24-hour. It's the purple pill, the #1 prescribed acid-blocking brand, available without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
Sir, we're going to need you on the runway later.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu. It has the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. Theraflu breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms, so you never miss a day. Theraflu, serious power.
Just listen to that, right smack in the middle of the blizzard slamming Long Island, New York. This video from storm chaser Mark Sudduth in Riverhead.
And he usually chases hurricanes, but this time it's a blizzard and a big one. We are in the midst of the hours upon hours of blizzard conditions. Sustained gusts as high as 35 miles an hour. We've seen gusts, though, up to, in portions of Massachusetts, 75 miles an hour, and up to a foot of snow expected there in New York. Also in Long Island, a blizzard warning remains in effect until 6 p.m. this evening.
Our Reagan Medji is there live in Stony Brook. And Reagan, I've been seeing pictures not only of the snow drifts from the ground, but also over a lot of people's roofs. The snow really, really big there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I do want to apologize to our friends at the Weather Channel. We are no longer in Stony Brook. We moved on, and I forgot to let you know, but we are now in Port Jefferson. If you were watching our coverage last night, we started here and we ended up back here. So the reason where I'm at right now, behind me, you'll notice that it's kind of like an open area of just snow. That's what you think. But if I head over here, this is a Long Island Railroad. You notice you can't see the tracks at all, and that's because the Long Island Railroad is suspended. The wow factor here is that this entire area uses the Long Island Railroad to get into New York City because we're on Long Island in Suffolk County, and a lot of commuters live here and they work in New York. So I just checked on the website, MTA website, and they say, you know what, it's suspended. And they're trying to assess when they should open up this railroad, in addition to the Staten Island Railway and other subways and buses and transit systems. And for the Long Island Railroad, while everything is suspended, they're trying to, when they get operation back up and running, to run it kind of towards like a Sunday schedule and expect tomorrow for it to be on normal schedule. So we're going to swing back over to the road here, and you can actually notice the sun's starting to come up a little bit, but it's so much snow you can't really, it's like kind of fogged over. The travel ban has been lifted in this county. However, here there is a state of emergency here in Port Jefferson, and that goes until noon tomorrow. That means you really should not be driving in Port Jefferson. Only make it an emergency if you have to get out. But when you see the roadways like this, snow-covered, slush-covered, you really don't want to be out anyway. Because like Kate, you said, the blizzard warning is in effect until 6 p.m. tonight. Although the travel ban has been lifted for all of Long Island, you still want to take precaution because we're not out of the storm just yet. Back to you guys.
Veggie in Port Jefferson, Long Island. Thank you so much, Reagan. And Reagan brings up a good point. You may still have the ability. They've given you the okay to get out there if you need to, but if you don't have to, keep our emergency responders safe and sound themselves and not have to go out and come and get you. With that said, we want to give you the next few hours of what to expect. The snow is still falling. I want to point out where you see the darker blues, that's always where the heavier snow is. You still have the gusts in excess of 35 miles per hour from Islip, Farmingdale into West Hampton, so you still have reduced visibility. With that snow coming down, we're thinking an additional 1 to 2 inches easily, especially where some of those heavier snow showers are setting up. Greenport certainly on that list of that 2-inch potential more going forward in the next few hours. Continuing to watch, especially Kate in through New England, more additional snowfall in terms of maybe as much as an additional foot.
Wow, yeah. This winter storm is still very dangerous if you lose power. Here's a few of those tips from FEMA on what to do if you do lose electricity. You're to stay indoors during the duration of the storm. If your pipes freeze, what you should do is remove any insulation, wrap those pipes in rags, and completely open all of your faucets. Pour hot water over the pipes if you can there to try and defrost them a little bit. Those are the tips that we want to get to those folks that are without power. If you have friends or family, remind them that they can watch if they're without power, us on weather.com. We are live streaming.
Excellent point. All right, still more to come here on Weather Center Live. Continue to show you the pictures of where we're still seeing the snow and the blowing snow. This is a live look at Hartford, Connecticut. Not a soul on the roads. That's kind of what we want to see out there right now, folks. 20 degrees.
You're moving. That's a good plan for you. But if you do have pictures or video that you can safely get to us, text the word Juno to 99,000 and you can see your images right here on the Weather Channel.
Temptation is toast with Special K protein cereal. Each hearty bowl is packed with protein and fiber. Satisfy your hunger with Special K. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Special K chocolate peanut butter protein meal bars are packed with protein and fiber. Satisfy your hunger with Special K.
There's a myth out there that you can't do it all, that you can't be everything to everyone. Well, consider that myth shattered. This is the full line of Ram ProMaster vans and the all-new Ram ProMaster City, built to help you run the town from every direction.
You park your car. As you walk away, crunch, a garbage truck backs into it. So you call your insurance company looking for a little support. What you get is a game of 1,000 questions. Was it raining? Were your flashers on? Was there a dog with you? By the time you hang up, you're convinced the accident was your fault. Then you remember, you weren't even in the car.
At Liberty Mutual, we make filing a claim as stress-free as possible. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Some people say that I don't have a heart.
Why do I get the feeling that that is not true?
Welcome to my world. Where have you been?
Waiting.
No. Rated R.
We build weather adventures.
Wow, anybody else surprised it actually worked? Mother Nature can absolutely change people.
I'm ready to get out of here and create a new track.
This is a tornado emergency.
It was hard to believe.
There is something in the people, something in the sand, there's something in the air, something in the water, something in the night, and it's something you can only find here. Jamaica, home of all right. Go to visitjamaica.com or call a travel agent today.
Imagine waking up every morning to a beautiful, lush, perfectly manicured lawn. You don't have to imagine anymore. Located in Jupiter, Synthetic Turf International is the global leader in synthetic landscape solutions, putting greens, and functional activity surfaces. And STI Jupiter was just chosen to provide and install the synthetic turf for the tailgate field next to this year's college football championship game in Dallas. So stop at the mowing. Let our trained staff show you how your lawn can start paying you. Call for a free quote. Synthetic Turf International.
800-314-8013.
Stay tuned for your local on the 8s, brought to you by Olive Garden. Discover the delicious new things Olive Garden is bringing to the table.
In Rome, dinner means lingering over 4 courses. In Florence, celebrating the evening. And in Naples, there's always time for dessert. Introducing Olive Garden's first ever 4-course, starting at $12.99. Salad and breadsticks, an individual appetizer, one of 6 irresistible entrees, and a dolcini for dessert. 4 courses starting at just $12.99. As they say in Rome, Georgia, Florence, South Carolina, and Naples, Florida. We're all family here at Olive Garden.
Currently in our area, 58 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 71. Winds west-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, some passing clouds. Low 50. Winds west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, generally sunny despite a few afternoon clouds. High 67. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Coming up on 20 minutes past the hour, Juno has arrived full force in Providence, Rhode Island. This video taken by Weather Channel viewer Andy Entrekin. You can really see how the winds are just blowing that snow all around and just how hard that snow is coming down. Now remember, we want to see your pictures and video. Just text the word Juno to 99000. You may just see your images on the air. Remember, hold your phone horizontally when taking the video. It helps us out so much. I'm going to demonstrate for you too. This is how you want to take that video, take the pictures. It just looks better on the TV screen, helps us tell the story. Still a lot of the story to be written. Dr. Greg Postel here with us because we're looking at the radar, and there are a lot of places where we're seeing that darker blue really getting slammed with snow right now.
Yeah, and those are the heavy snow areas, and they may not be in your neighborhood. For example, in Boston, it's maybe not snowing as hard as it was earlier, but there are places in between you and Providence and Worcester that are getting absolutely drilled right now with accumulation rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour. Along with Maria and everybody else, some very strong winds, especially on the Cape. Chatham gusting to 45, Nantucket gusting to 64, but even in Providence, 32. So the fluffy snow is blowing around just like we saw in that video.
And when you take that wide picture, it is pretty incredible because you've got this darker shade of blue, this band that literally drives the whole way up 95 into Maine.
You know, this is exactly, so much of our focus has been on parts of, Massachusetts and lower New England, but also Maine is getting thoroughly thrashed right now by this snowstorm, this blizzard. And we know we have lots of viewers in New Hampshire who also want to know that it's going to be coming down for many more hours to come. This is only a slow moving storm right now, moving toward the Gulf of Maine, maybe at about 10 miles per hour. So in the next 12 hours, it's not going to move much more than about 150 miles or so. So there's a long way to go here with this storm, many hours yet of heavy snow working its way into New England.
Okay, and you talk about many hours. You have temperatures in the single digits in places like Bangor. That's a fluffy snow. That's really going to pile up too.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and blow around and reduce visibilities, not just from the falling snow, but also from the blowing snow. Way back here, 100+ miles away from where the actual cyclone center is there at about 975. It's probably maxed out in intensity in terms of bottoming out and pressure, but there's still going to be a lot more snow to come in New England as the sort of mature phase of the cyclone takes over.
All right, interesting map here, because I see the blue in through central Jersey, Philly. They could still see additional snow. You were talking maybe an inch or two, but the numbers, like you mentioned in New New England. Still, that's 6, 8, 12 inches additional.
We're going to come in with some very, very surprisingly high numbers, I think, especially in eastern New England. Eastern Long Island, Orient Long Island, and the North Shore there, 2 feet. In eastern Long Island, 2 feet. There's going to be places that probably push 40 inches, I think, when all said and done. Maybe in northern Massachusetts or in western Maine.
All right, Dr. Greg Postel, thank you so much. And Kate, we're talking about this long duration still, even if some areas have seen that snow ease up a bit.
Right. Speaking of northern Massachusetts and the additional snowfall expected there, joining us now on the phone is Stephanie Dunton. She's with the National Weather Service in Boston. Now, Stephanie, we first talked to your office on Sunday when this forecast kind of came together and looked like a beast. Do you think that it has lived up to those forecast standards thus far?
I believe so. I mean, we've been forecasting approximately 2 feet across southern New England, and we're starting to see some totals add up to 2 feet and even a few higher amounts right now.
What do you think are the highest snowfall rates that you've seen in some of these stronger bands that have set up?
I know overnight we saw snowfall rates close to 3 to 4 inches, and the band that you guys were talking about earlier, that's about 1 to 2 right now. So if this band continues to set up over a certain area, it's really going to accumulate the snow quickly.
How many hours would you say that the Boston area and those surrounding suburb communities would have left in this storm?
We probably at least another 12 hours. We're expecting it to start dissipating in terms of snowfall by late this evening.
Now, some of our crews out in the field, Stephanie, like Mike Seidel, he saw a 64-mile-an-hour wind gust. We've seen reports of 63 miles an hour in Plymouth, Cape Cod, a 70-mile-an-hour wind gust. How have the winds kind of peaked overnight? Those were around 3:30 this morning. Do you expect them to decrease or increase from here on out?
We expect them to decrease throughout the day. I mean, it really peaked out early this morning, but throughout the day they have started to lower, although we are still getting a few wind gusts near 60 miles per hour.
Okay, so do you guys have some bets going on in the office on which town will actually end up being the big winner in the snowfall amount here?
Actually, we do not, surprisingly.
But any thoughts on that? Any feelings? Who's had the highest amounts thus far?
So far, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts has had 26.2 inches.
26.2 inches. I would say that's Winter Storm Juno delivering and over-delivering a little bit. Thank you so much. That's Stephanie Dunton from the National Weather Service there in Boston for you. So thank you for being with us this morning. We're going to take you now live to Providence, Rhode Island, where Winter Storm Juno is roaring. Chris Warren live there in Providence, Rhode Island for us, has been all morning long. He's going to come to us in the next little bit here for what has happened, for the what's currently going on there and what happened overnight, what's going to go on tonight, because we're keeping you here live on the Weather Channel with Winter Storm Juno, this historic blizzard all night long and into tomorrow.
Before Orion, before Atlantis, we looked to the stars and dared to dream. Stand in awe under Saturn V, the most powerful rocket ever flown. One of thousands of exciting things to explore at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex in Orlando. Always exploring.
What if your morning routine weren't so routine? Try one-a-day Vitacrave's Chewy Bites. Complete multivitamins with nutrients like B vitamins and vitamin D in chocolatey flavors. $2 off at oneaday.com.
These signature drinks are so sophisticated, I brought along a sommelier to help us enjoy them.
My drink is cold.
Expand upon that. Is it sweetness, sour, umami?
Ooh, mommy, this is good.
Try 25 signature flavors from our millions of drinks. This is how you Sonic.
Right now, you could get a great deal on a 2015 Honda Pilot.
But can it pass my Tuesday test?
What's your Tuesday test? So that's your Tuesday?
Yeah. Tuesdays are pretty slow.
The Honda Pilot clearance event is happening now. Hurry in to get a great deal on a 2015 Pilot, built to handle even your busiest days.
The adventures you've been imagining. The heroes you've been admiring. The worlds you've been dreaming of. The thrills you've been craving. The moments you've been missing. The vacation you've been looking for is here. Come and take it. Universal Orlando Resort.
A 3D white smile has the power to captivate. That's why Shakira uses Crest 3D White with White Lock technology. removing up to 90% of surface stains and locking out future stains. So your smile always steals the show. Crest 3D White.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
Huh. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Ickey Woods will celebrate almost anything?
Number 44.
Woo! 44, that's me!
Get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts.
Give me some!
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
44, ladies, that's me! Woo! Gonna get some cold cuts today.
Before Chris Hadfield, before Sally Ride, we turned ordinary people into heroes. Shake hands with a hero at Astronaut Encounter, one of thousands of exciting things to explore at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex in Orlando. Always exploring.
Thrilled to have Jim Cantore on the show. He's been through like 80 tropical systems.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Watch Jim Cantore, Sam Champion, and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ, weekday mornings at 7. Stay with us for the latest on Winter Storm Juno.
We're far from over with this.
We're live from across the region, with more in a moment. Only the Weather Channel.
Here's a live look from Falmouth, Maine, just outside of Portland. Take a look at the blowing winds that we're seeing there. This is actually video that we have into us, and you can tell that things are hairy. Visibility very low. You could see 10 inches of snow here, possibly even more in some pockets.
One of those areas, still a lot left to go. You do have that blizzard warning in effect until noon today. Winds will be gusting to as high as 70 miles per hour, and we've seen a few spots that have gotten pretty close to that already.
I mean, can you believe that? You've got the snow, it's coming down in droves, and then you've got that blowing wind that is hurricane strength wind gusts.
Right.
Hurricane force wind gusts. That's insane. Thanks for staying with us here on Weather Center Live. I'm Kate Parker.
And I'm Maria LaRosa. We've been showing you pictures all over the Northeast because of Winter Storm Juno, making it pretty nasty out there. This is a live look at Times Square. You see the heaviest traffic being the foot traffic. It looks like folks are feeling brave enough to head on out and check out the scene, but you notice still not a ton of cars out there. You might have a pretty good time getting a taxi cab.
You know, they still got 7.8 inches at Central Park, but if you go just a little bit into Long Island, man, you're up over, you're 2 feet.
All right, let's catch you up with the latest.
Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got working here. The travel bans have been lifted in New Jersey and New York City. That's why you see those folks out there on the street on foot. But Amtrak has suspended train service to the north of New York because that's where we see that heaviest snow.
And unfortunately, we have this news to share with you. A 17-year-old New York boy died after losing control of his snow tube and hitting a light pole out on Long Island. And the U.S. Postal Service has suspended mail delivery today in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New York.
In Boston, heavy snow still falling at up to an inch, 2 inches per hour. We saw it even greater overnight.
Right, and our storm tracker Jim Cantore is there. 2 feet of snow expected in total, and there will be spots maybe a little bit more than that, Jim, with the snow bands coming through.
Yeah, I think so. Shrewsbury, Mass, ladies, is almost up to 30 inches now. So, you know, we're approaching the 30-inch mark and off to my west, not surprisingly, given where that band has pretty much set up. Now, if you're just joining us this morning, we have heard certainly of the coastal flooding aspect of this being the worst part of it. With everybody off the roads in Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts, it hasn't really been an issue. But we had big problems at the time of high tide in Nantucket, where there was flooding from the harbor into downtown Nantucket. People had to be rescued from their homes. The whole island is without power. All right? That's a big deal. The other area we understand there's been problems where cars are floating in the water, streets are flooded, and homes are flooded as well, is Scituate, Massachusetts. I want to bring in Dave Malkoff, who is live via Skype, to talk about this. Now, Dave, tell us when you got there and what exactly you're seeing.
Jim, it's incredible when you get down into the coastal areas of Scituate here. We're a little bit, few miles inland. We're talking to a family here. We're at their house. But let me bring up some pictures that we posted on Twitter so you can see what it looks like right on those coastal areas. Look at that water in the street. This isn't even high tide. We're waiting for another high tide that will come in this afternoon. It will get even worse in that neighborhood. This is just water that is roaring roaring through the neighborhoods. It's not just the water, but you've also got debris. You've got lobster traps. You've got buoys in there. You've got 2x4s with nails. You've also got what looks like icebergs of slush in there. So it is. I wish I could play this audio for you. There is a sucking sound that is everywhere in the neighborhood as the drains are doing all they can to suck all this seawater out of the roadways. But Jim, as fast as that water is sucked down, more of it comes in from right over the bay and in from the ocean, and it's pouring out, and there's a lot of erosion. So a lot of people dealing with that there. And as you can see here, Jim, a lot of snowfall here in Scituate.
So Dave, let's talk about this. You showed that picture of the water in the streets there. Could you see or not any of that water into anybody's homes? Yeah, well, I mean, people's homes, the bottom floors are flooding a little bit. We even saw some people's sheds were twisting and turning in the water. They were literally floating, and they've become boats and moving around these sheds. And some kids' playhouses have become boats inside there. So this is actually moving buildings around at this point in Scituate. So the main road that runs along the coast there is impassable at the present time, right?
Yeah, that's well, I believe we were off of Rebecca and Foam Road, aptly named Foam Road. There's a lot of flooding there, and it's some of the guys that we're working with here, the crew, they were saying that they've been through a lot of these, and this is about the worst that they've seen it.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, with the way that's situated in Scituate, interesting. Anyway, the way that the waves come in, they can actually push some of the boulders up on the road. Did you notice any of that?
Well, I didn't see any boulders on the roadways, but yesterday, as they were bunkering down these homes, they were putting wood on the windows, not just the big pieces of plywood, but also 4x6s on the windows. What they want to do is make sure that those little tiny rocks don't come in. That's the big problem. Those little tiny rocks that get blowing. When that hits your picture window, it shatters, and you are toast for the rest of the night.
All right, Dave, I know you just got there a little while ago. Obviously, I know you're going to be gathering more information there, but certainly right now, guys, it looks like the biggest hit from this in terms of impacts are around Scituate, where Dave is, and just reporting on, and also on Nantucket Island, where the island is completely without power to the last time that I have checked, which was just a little while ago. So those are the big issues right now. Ladies, the winds will be a little bit different the next high tide, so it may not be the same areas that get the surge flooding, but that said, the snow continues here in Boston, and the mayor, the governor of all three states, in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut, asking everyone to just stay off the roads.
And Jim, thank you so much. You bring up an excellent point that with the next high tide, the winds may be shifted a little bit, but there's not that wind shift that's going to really allow everything to drain out quickly. So again, we're talking about the long duration. Let's talk timing and additional snowfall, because that is just going to hinder anybody who's going to be trying to get out and fix things. For Boston, through at least tonight, this evening, the wind and the snow still continuing. Finally, by tomorrow morning, we really see everything tapering off and beginning to pull away. You may actually get some sun in here by tomorrow afternoon. With that said, additional snowfall amounts of as much as 7 inches of snowfall on the Cape, and Plymouth, you can see, Kate, 6 inches additional over the next few hours.
Oh, so we're keeping on, and that's why even Postal Service is being suspended today in 4 states, including Rhode Island, saying service will resume tomorrow when it is safe to do so. Our Chris Warren is live in Providence, Rhode Island this morning. Chris, you know, if we don't have the postal workers out there who will go out and brave all of the elements, is there anyone that is heading outside, or is everybody heeding the warnings and staying at home?
There are people that are heading out. Snow plows and utility workers, and we see some other like pedestrian type vehicles, but you don't know necessarily if those people are emergency workers getting to their job, or they're just people that are not doing the right thing and getting out. There are plows out, hundreds of plows out, but they're not out to get you on the roads today. They're out to stay ahead of this, because this is a massive task here. This is the combination of a snow drift right here and the plows coming up. And here comes a truck right now. It looks like it's AAA. AAA car here. We've seen that. We've also, yeah, another good point. How you doing? We've seen a lot of tow trucks as well come through, and we haven't seen a lot on cars. We've seen a few accidents, but in Providence, I think those were passing cars that were on the flatbeds. In Providence, we're told nothing major, no major accidents. But this right here, I can't even find the curb. But the main thing is, all of this snow right here is after they plowed this right here. So a lot of blowing snow means when they come through and they plow, they have to come back later, minutes later, sometimes 10 minutes later, and do it again because of the blowing snow. Now we can take a look at this parking lot right here. This parking lot is full. It wasn't full yesterday evening. These are utility trucks, and these utility trucks here are from South Carolina. They got the call Sunday, and some of them left early yesterday morning, early Monday morning, 3 or 4 in the morning, drove from South Carolina to here in Providence, Rhode Island. At midnight last night in this parking lot, there were 13 trucks. Now there's more than 30. And I'm told there's another lot a couple miles away that also has 30 trucks. So hundreds without power now, not in the thousands. But if that changes, crews are in place to help get the power and the heat back on, guys.
All right, Chris Warren for us in Providence, Rhode Island. Amazing to see everyone in place and ready for whatever this storm has to throw at it. We still have more to go, including in a city like Portland, Maine. You're at 12 degrees, heavy snow falling, and wind gusts close to 30 miles per hour.
Sir, we're gonna need you on the runway later.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu. It has the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. Theraflu breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms, so you never miss a day. Theraflu, serious power.
Our eyes, they have a 200-degree range of sight, which is good for me. Hey! And bad for the Barkley twins.
Your brain can send information to the rest of your body at 268 miles an hour. 3 times the speed of a fastball.
Take care of your most important parts with Centrum. Multivitamins expertly designed with nutrients people don't get enough of from food alone. Centrum, for the most important parts of you.
Gonna wash the dust off my soul. Gonna listen to some rock and roll. No cares, come what may, I'm making a beautiful day.
You're only young once, unless you have a Subaru.
The Subaru XV Crosstrek. Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 34 mpg. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Let's go from our little girl to all grown up. Let's say out with the old and in with the options, like that one, or those, with features like this. Let's get exactly what we imagined for less than we thought and turn a modest budget into a majorly stylish bath. New bathroom, no problem. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Shop stylish vanities in-store and online.
Good job. Still running in the morning?
Yeah.
Getting your vegetables every day?
When I can.
Could have had a V8. 2 full servings of vegetables for only 50 delicious calories.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
The best part about going to Walt Disney World just might be staying at a Walt Disney World Resort Hotel. From royal encounters to royal rooms. And pirates to paradise. The magic never has to stop. And now you can save up to 30% off a select Walt Disney World Resort Hotel room. Book your stay now and discover how close the magic can be.
Governor Andrew Cuomo has lifted travel bans for parts of New York this morning.
And that is some of the latest information we have coming into our news desk. Our Reagan Medji is out live in Port Jefferson in one of those spots. They're waiting to see if they can be heading out right now because, Reagan, the snow has been some of the heaviest out on Long Island.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we're in Suffolk County in Port Jefferson, and, you know, I just started, I wanted to get a good grasp of where I was going to do a walk and talk. That clearly isn't really going to happen. This is almost like a ghost town, and if you see behind me, there's almost like a drifting with all the snow. And, you know, while people are trying to enjoy the snow, like myself. Oh, look at my cameraman. He's so nice. I ran into some friends, Annie and Matt from Florida, and I have to make mention that they're from Florida. They came up here actually for a family emergency. They were not prepared. Check this out. So, you know, they're coming out and taking a little bit of a stroll. So, Matt, explain to me this. I mean, you weren't ready for the weather.
Definitely not. We came up for, like you said, for a family emergency. I was not dressed properly, so everything that Ann's wearing is borrowed, and what I'm doing is just improvising.
Okay, so a lot of activity right now. So Matt's saying, hey, listen, I came up here. As he's here, I do want to make mention behind you is the Long Island Railroad. I just did a report about how service is suspended. It's starting to pick up again. They're going to go on a Sunday schedule, and when that started, you know, hooting and hollering, Annie, you gave kind of like a thumbs up, and why is that?
Because we're out of here. We want to go back to Florida.
I mean, poor Annie. She's borrowing.
We need the train to get us back to basically to get to LaGuardia, and then get out. So
well, once you get to LaGuardia, there's some flights today. LaGuardia, JFK, and Newark have some flights, not all resumed.
Okay, well that's all right as long as we can get out by like tomorrow. That would be okay.
That's right, because you know what? The sunshine is down there. You got the snow up here. And for the rest of the day, what are you guys going to be doing to enjoy your day?
I'm going to make a snowman. Haven't done that in a while.
All right, well, you know what? I'll let you guys go because this, I don't, let's take a good look at this. When people are from Florida and they get stuck in Suffolk County, Long Island, and there is Winter Storm Juno, this is what the attire would be. And, you know, my cameraman, Matt Safer, am I going to call him out at this point? Probably. He says when he was in Buffalo, he did not have the right proper shoes. And this is what he did. So apparently the 2-ply of grocery store bags on sneakers.
Double bag it.
What is it?
Make sure you double bag them.
There you go. Double bag your shoes. There you guys go. Back to you from Suffolk County.
Okay, a little useful news you can use. All right, to deal with all that. Thank you, Reagan Medji. And speaking of Long Island, New York, there may be spots that are getting a little bit of a reprieve, but we are looking at data. We're looking at the radar, and we're still seeing snow and some of it heavy at times falling right now.
Yeah, you can see how Long Island, you are getting that little bit of a break, especially in Islip, where your visibility is up to a whopping 1 mile. How about that? You know, that's actually pretty good considering what you've seen throughout the morning, but those wind gusts still 35 miles an hour, and if we can see those consistently, that is blizzard strength.
And in the thick of it last night, meteorologist Mike Seidel, he had quite a few incredible live reports, and take a look from Juneau overnight.
This is about as bad as I've ever been in my career at the Weather Channel. We're right on Plymouth Harbor. The winds are coming right off the water. We've been 39 gusts to 54. That's tropical storm force. And look at the drifts. Now in the foreground here, this is how hard it is to measure snow. Here's the bare ground. But these drifts back here are approaching 4 feet. I'll walk back here. I don't want to get stuck. But my gosh, you get an idea what's going on. I mean, the drifting is amazing. Back here, this drift's got to be about 4 feet. And I don't know how far you can see behind me, but this is why there's a travel ban across a lot of the Northeast and here in the state of Massachusetts. There is no reason, no sane reason to be out on the roads or out of your house right now. This is about as good about a good a blizzard as you can see if you like this kind of weather. I would think so. There goes a gust.
Man down.
Yeah, man down. I need to put some weight on. Because we are right on the water. I just went over there, and the waves are crashing on the rocky coast and against the seawall. We're really not concerned, at least in Plymouth Harbor, of any coastal flooding because we have the protection of the barrier island. Remember, guys, just about 30 minutes ago, I walked through this drift, and you can't even see where I walked. This is the whole issue we have with plowing roads when it's like this. You plow the road, and then the snow just gets blown back over.
Huge shout out to Mike, who is unbelievable, but our amazing crews who are out there with us, braving those elements, but incredible
Those wind gusts, 63, 64 miles an hour, so we're talking tropical storm force winds,
and that's almost
blowing that snow. Mike, the man out there, doing what he could.
All right, let's take you to Providence, Rhode Island, a city not quite done with Juno yet. Our Chris Warren is live for us there. We'll take you there.
Why are you all here? To learn, right? So you can get a good job, so you're not working for peanuts. Well, what if I told you that peanuts can work for you? While you guys are busy napping, peanuts are delivering 7 grams of protein and 6 essential nutrients right to your mouth. You ever seen a peanut take a day off? No. Peanuts don't even get casual khaki Fridays, because peanuts take their job seriously. So unless you want a life of skimming Wi-Fi off the neighbors, you'll harness the hard-working power of the peanut.
Weather invention. Wow, anybody else surprised that you were?
Mother Nature can absolutely change people.
I'm ready to get out of here and create a new track.
This is a tornado emergency.
It was hard to believe weather could do that.
Never seen anything like this in my life.
Currently in our area, 60 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine, high 71. Winds west-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, some passing clouds, low 50. Winds west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, generally sunny despite a few afternoon clouds. High 67. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
There's a myth out there that you can't do it all, that you can't be everything to everyone. Well, consider that myth shattered. This is the full line of Ram ProMaster vans and the all-new Ram ProMaster City, built to help you run the town from every direction.
You pay your auto insurance premium every month on the dot. You're like the poster child for paying on time. And then one day, you tap the bumper of a station wagon. No big deal, until your insurance company jacks up your rates. You freak out. What good is having insurance if you get punished for using it? Hey, insurance companies, newsflash. Nobody's perfect.
I'm Randy White, Hall of Fame football player, and I'm a PC user. And PC-Matic is all you'll ever need. In today's internet-connected world, you need the best defense from online threats. PC-Matic smashed the record books for virus detection in the latest Virus Bulletin RAP test. PC-Matic security is the best and all you'll ever need. PC-Matic optimizes your computer's performance and extends its useful life. PC-Matic scheduled maintenance is all you'll ever need. PC-Matic costs $150 for 5 computers for the rest of your life. All updates included and no annual renewals for one low price. You'll never need to purchase another security or PC maintenance product ever. PC-Matic is made and supported right here in the USA. Take it from me, Randy White, a PC user. PC-Matic is all you'll ever need.
Travel, 855-714-8687.
Stay with us for the latest on Winter Storm Juno.
We're far from over with this.
We're live from across the region with more in a moment. Only the Weather Channel.
Check out this new video into us this morning from Owl's Head, Maine. Winter Storm Juno bringing heavy snow. As you can see, it is roaring out though. This is from Katie Shaw. More than a foot of snow is expected, but that isn't the snow. It's not just the snow. Look at how it's blowing there that people should be concerned about.
Because it's the winds, and that does a lot of things. It blows the snow, reduces visibility. We're talking that 45, 50 mile per hour gust range, maybe as much as 65 miles per hour. They are under a blizzard warning until 4 a.m. tomorrow. So long duration here. We're also under that coastal flood advisory until 6 p.m. this evening, which has certainly been an issue all along our coast today. Now remember, we want to see your pictures and video. Just text the word Juno to 99000 and you may just see your images on the air. Remember, please hold your phone horizontally when taking video. It makes it easier for us to get that picture on the air.
Yeah, and a lot of folks, you're seeing it right outside your window happening as we speak. So share that with us. That's how we let people know how awful it is in some spots right now.
So you don't have to go out there, which is all part of what we want to do. We want to keep you and your family safe during this winter storm.
So here's a few tips from FEMA. Keep as much heat as possible inside your home. You want to avoid opening the door, opening the window, so you can shoot that video through your window to get to us. And you want to make sure you close off those rooms that you don't need.
That is actually a very good tip. You want to close those draperies, cover the windows with blankets at night, everything you can do to keep that heat
all the
nice
family in one room. If you lose power, that way you keep the heat in one spot. Now you want to make sure that if you can, you want to eat the well-balanced meals because those help you stay warmer. And I know that some folks are going to have a hard time with this one during a winter storm, but don't drink alcoholic or caffeinated beverages. They may cause your body to lose that heat more rapidly. And if you lose power, you're putting yourself in a really dangerous situation.
So think warm, sweet beverages or broth, and if you have any dietary restrictions, ask your doctor, and this will help you get through everything much more comfortably.
How about some really good images that we're getting into us this morning? This is from Islip, New York, where the snow has been piling up. You were stuck under that band, and you are still seeing it come down. This obviously, Block Island, not quite as thick there.
Yeah, this is from our partner, our cameras from Weather Underground. Block Island, one of my favorite places on the planet. Rockport, Massachusetts, beautiful in the snow when you don't have to be out in it.
All right, today we got to get right to what's happening right now because it's still coming down. I think a lot of folks woke up expecting this big event to have already happened. It's ongoing.
It is still going. And our storm specialist, Dr. Greg Postel, is in the lab breaking down the timing for the rest of the storm. And we're not talking an hour or two. We're talking the rest of the day into tomorrow morning for some areas.
That's exactly right, guys. This storm is not moving very fast. In fact, crawling northward about 150 miles, I would say, to the east of Nantucket, going to get in the Gulf of Maine and still rotate in some very bad weather in from the ocean during the afternoon hours. Let's go to how much snow we expect to be from now till the end of the event. So this is additional snowfall. So whatever you've got now, add this to your accumulation, and this is what we think will be the storm total. So 8 to 12 still to come in places of northern Massachusetts and southeastern New Hampshire. And Maine, of course, is getting absolutely drilled right now with a lot of snow. But farther to the southwest over Connecticut, you're really not dealing with a whole lot more, perhaps 3 to 5 in central Connecticut, and even less farther southwest from there in New York City, maybe another 1 to 3 there. But we still are dealing with a lot of windy stuff rotating its way in. Gosh, look at this. Look at some of these wind gusts. 64 at Nantucket earlier today. They were gusting over 70. Chatham gusting to 41. So the high wind gusts have been really largely reserved for the coastal sections, but still, Providence gusting to 33, blowing the snow around, making visibility. Look at Portland, Maine. Visibility is way down there with all that snow and blowing snow. And speaking of Maine, we cannot forget the lovely Mainers up there. They are absolutely really in the throes of this coastal blizzard because look at some of these dark blue shades in here right along I-95. Portland, 13 degrees and heavy snow. Likewise in Bangor and many other locations in Maine, all the way in between there, guys. Just look at that video. 12 degrees. That is real blizzard status out there with visibilities under a quarter mile in many locations and sustained winds over 30 at the coast. So this is big time stuff that's going to continue for many hours, as we mentioned, across the coast. And let's go see if I can move my map forward here. Hold on a second. Let me do that. And I seem to be stuck here. My map seems to be stuck. But yeah, there we go, guys. Let me see a point on this map. Since my maps are stuck, I'm going to do some drawing on this. I think the low pressure center at the surface is still farther to the southwest. Let's see. Where'd we go here? We lost it. How about that? Let me see if I... Hang on with me, folks. You know what? We are losing some of our graphics here, but the idea is that it's got many more hours to come. Look at that lovely video in Portland. And this appears to be Portland, Maine to me. If I were looking out the window, I would say that's Portland, Maine with, guess what, visibility really low. And this is going to be not just for an hour or two, but for quite a while longer. And let me see what I can get for you in terms of a forecast, because if you're in Maine, I would expect you to get probably about 8 to 14 more inches or so. And let's look at here some of these maps which show the surface cyclone. Let's go to the maps. I think we can do that right now. There we go. Guys, can we do that? Oh, beautiful visible satellite picture. There is the cyclone at about 975. A lot of warm air, guys, being generated in this warm sector, poleward transport of heat, going up and over that warm front. And that is where we're seeing a lot of that precip well to the northwest of that low pressure system. And that's going to be continuing all day long, guys. With that, as we start the top of the hour, just remember, Winter Storm Juno will be causing major impacts all up and down the East Coast. And we're bringing incredible live images and video, all with Kate Parker, Maria, next on Weather Center Live. Guys, stay tuned.
Thank you so much, Dr. Postel. Thank you for joining us on Weather Center Live. I'm Maria LaRosa.
And I'm Kate Parker. Winter Storm Juno, far from over. The Northeast coast still dealing with this historic storm. And it's not just the snow and blizzard conditions, but coastal flooding is also a major threat here.
We've been getting some incredible pictures. And with that, we're going to break it all down for you. All that we can still expect from Winter Storm Juno, plus all of the video and live images. Now,
how about this one?
Yeah, this is pretty scary if you're not quite sure what you're looking at. That is a door, an open door, so that is packed with snow.
You can see right at the very top there's a little sliver of space, but that snowdrift has piled up against your window, against your doors. You guys are seeing this all over the place thanks to Winter Storm Juno, and it's just one of the incredible images that we're seeing from this storm.
And we are getting a ton of information into our news center here, so let's catch you up on the very latest from Winter Storm Juno. Travel bans have been lifted in the entire state of New Jersey, along with in New York City. Flights expected to slowly resume at Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey after Juno grounded hundreds of flights.
Now, the Pilgrim Nuclear Power Plant in Plymouth was forced offline after its main transmission lines went down during Juno. Now, just so you know, in Plymouth, wind gusts there 63, 64 miles an hour. Plant officials say there's no threat to the safety of the plant workers or the public, and about 33,000 customers in Massachusetts alone have no electricity this morning, so they're doing everything they can to stay warm, stay at home, conserve that heat, and do what they can without power.
Now, parts of the Northeast still getting blasted by Winter Storm Juno. Our storm tracker Jim Cantori is live in Boston this morning, and Jim, we see the beautiful snowy scene, but a lot of the parts of the Boston area we know and love, Scituate, the Cape, are Nantucket, dealing with incredible flooding.
Yeah, that's a bad situation. We've seen the water come into Scituate in the roads. We've seen it come into homes, as Dave was talking about. Don't know the extent of that flooding. Provincetown also without power right now. But Nantucket Island, you know, with the way the wind was at the time of high tide, ladies, and the surge that we had, the 3 to 4 feet, it brought the water in from the harbor. Okay, so that brings it right into if you will, Nantucket proper. The beautiful cobblestone streets that we have down there, that puts it pretty much right into people's homes and, unfortunately, some of the businesses down there. We don't know the extent of that, but certainly from talking to the officer this morning, it seems to be pretty bad. All of Nantucket Island is without power right now. Kendall, do we have that map? Not yet. All right. So, guys, what we're going to show a little bit later on, MEMA has a great power outage map for the state of Massachusetts. And you can really see essentially east of Worcester County all the way down through the South Shore, the Cape, and the islands where the concentrated power outages are. And right now, right around 35,000 as of last note. So even our graphic has to be updated. Oh, look at this. Look, cross-country ski action. Jimmy, can you grab that pretty quick, buddy? He's moving fast. He's moving too fast. So here's the deal. The yardstick is in place. We got about 15 inches on the ground right in through here. Of course, it's blowing around, so this may not be the best spot to measure the snow, but it's the closest one to my camera, so I got to do what I got to do. Here we go. We got some skis out here. We got some tellies. Some cross-country skis out here, enjoying a day. Either way, so about 13 inches on the ground here, guys, at the Common. We'll see what the official total is at Boston, but I think we're going to probably top out around, somewhere between 18, 20 inches before all is said and done. All in all, almost 30 inches in Shrewsbury, Mass. They may be the big winner, Maria, simply because they sat under the band longer than anybody else. Back to you.
It is all about the band right now, for sure. Jim Cantori, thank you so much in the Boston area. And that's reflected in how we're looking ahead the next few hours. In a city like Boston, far from done, all right? Take a look at this graphic. I want to kind of highlight this purple shade here. This is where we have the potential for blizzard conditions continuing. What does that mean? It means reduced visibility due to falling or blowing snow and those wind gusts higher than 35 miles per hour for a few hours in a row. That's between now and later this evening, Kate, but notice the snow not being called off until tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it's ongoing there, and somewhere else where it's still going on, Providence, Rhode Island. That's where we find our Chris Warren. We were looking at some videos or some live pictures just a short while ago, and the view was so obscured because look at that visibility. Chris, I'm going to let you take it over because this picture speaks 1,000 words.
Yeah, you know what, Kate, you're right. This is the visibility has gone down again. We're talking visibility in blocks. The visibility right now is about 2 or 3 blocks. That's it. I mean, occasionally we can see some of the buildings in the distance much better, but right now you can barely make out the outline. Now, what has been going on throughout the course of this whole event since the snow started, the plows have been out there. In fact, they just came through right here, and they're doing a great job keeping this road right here. This is an off-ramp here, on-ramp here, so kind of right in the middle of Interstate 95, and Interstate 95 is behind me. So, and you can see, and this also shows where the visibility is pretty far down here. But what we're going to do is take a look at this. The snow's been plowed and pushed up here. There's also snow drift in here. Gonna try to see if we can find where the curb is. And you know what? There might not even be a curb because I think it's just this wall right here. All right, okay, yeah, the curb is right on the wall, okay? So my left foot is on the curb. Earlier I thought the curb was right here, but this is just all plowed snow. This is the curb, and this is a wall, and then right over there is Interstate 95. So they have a huge task. Gonna kind of clean this up a little bit here, but we'll keep an eye on this because they come through, and when the wind's blowing really hard, they have to do it again in about 10 minutes. So the reminder here, and the thing to know is, these crews are out. They're pushing the snow off to the side, but they're not doing this so you can go out and drive around today. They're doing this because if they don't stay on top of it and you get more than a foot, 2 feet of snow, and then you try to plow, virtually impossible. Take forever. You'll need front end loaders to move it out. So it's a task that you have to just keep on doing and doing and doing to stay ahead of it. Still a travel ban, still not allowed to be on the road. Kate, and again, I keep looking back because the traffic's coming this way, and there's not a lot of traffic. Most of the traffic we've seen either plows, emergency vehicles, and tow trucks. Those are the big ones.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, you're running around out there doing a lot of work, and please be careful. The visibility is pretty low there on the road, but right there on I-95, you see why travel is not going to be a possibility. Let's talk about the additional snowfall that you're going to see in Providence. Another 5 inches possible through tomorrow morning. You just saw how low the visibility is because the snow's coming down, and then those winds are tremendous, so you're going to see drifts that are epic with this, Maria.
Absolutely, and it's all driven by those winds, which are not easing up just yet. Now, as you just saw along the New England coast, Winter Storm Juno is living up to its status of being potentially historic here. Our storm specialist, Dr. Greg Postel, is in the lab. And Dr. Postel, I want to talk a little bit more about this idea of the duration of it. I feel like some people have written the storm off already in spots where the snow has eased up, but it's still a force to be reckoned with. And there are a lot of cities on the map still with the snow and the gusty winds.
Yeah, I mean, we can have reporters, in various points on the map, but everywhere in between those points is going to get it too. And for quite a few more hours, this storm is crawling really northeastward across the eastern, maybe about 100 miles east of Nantucket right now. And still yet to come across all of New England. Look at some of these numbers here. 8 to 12 still in Maine. Boston, perhaps another 5 to 8, 5 inches, as you mentioned, Kate, in Providence. And a little bit farther to the southwest from there. New York, maybe another 1 to 3 inches. Still a little snow moving through there, but the farther west you go, the less of the storm you'll have to deal with. But certainly in eastern Massachusetts, in places that may already have, say, 30 inches on the ground, like Framingham, Massachusetts, and 495 just to the west of Boston, are still going to get more snow for the next several hours. Look at some of these forecast panels showing you on the upper right corner here that this storm in the Gulf of Maine as of 9 o'clock tonight will still bring some heavy snow and some very strong northwest winds now to parts of Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Maine. The story goes, guys, all day long, it is going to still remain windy and very snowy for a while to come. Back to you.
Dr. Postel, thank you so much. Still more to come on Weather Center Live.
Let's take you live now to New York City, where we do still have snow coming down. You can see it there. You're not quite out of it yet. We're back with more on Juneau next.
Sir, we're going to need you on the runway later.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu. It has the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. Theraflu breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms, so you never miss a day. Theraflu. Serious power.
Waiting quietly, the key to everything. A magic formula of protein and grain.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
Tomorrow is yours to claim. Kellogg's. See you at breakfast.
All right, so this Tylenol arthritis lasts 8 hours, but Aleve can last 12 hours. And Aleve is proven to work better on pain than Tylenol arthritis. So why am I still thinking about this?
How are you?
Get Aleve, proven better on pain.
Thrilled to have Jim Cantore on the show. He's been through like 80 tropical systems.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Watch Jim Cantore, Sam Champion, and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ, weekday mornings at 7. Stay with us for the latest on Winter Storm Juno.
We're far from over with this.
We're live from across the region with more in a moment. Only the Weather Channel.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
Cofaquin's number 5, the sleepless night. Sorry. Robitussin DM Max Night Times dual action liquid instantly soothes your throat and delivers fast, powerful cough relief. Robitussin, don't suffer the consequences.
Earning unlimited cash back on purchases. That's a win. But imagine earning it twice. Introducing the Citi Double Cash Card. It lets you earn cash back twice. Once when you buy, and again as you pay. It's cash back, then cash back again. And that's a cash back win-win. The Citi Double Cash Card. The only card that lets you earn cash back twice on every purchase. With 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
Behind the fridge, quietly rotting into black goo, is the banana you thought he wolfed down last week. Pine Sol. Cleaning what stinks since 1929.
Wow, just listen to that. This is right smack in the middle of a Juno, slamming Long Island, New York. This video from storm chaser Mark Sudduth in Riverhead. He said he's often chasing hurricanes.
Right, he goes to all these hurricanes, and he goes through a lot of them in winds that are the strength, but usually he's experiencing them with rain and not snow. But that snow, it's still coming down. We're in the midst of hours of blizzard conditions in spots. Sustained wind gusts need to be over 35 miles an hour consistently in order to see blizzard conditions, but up to a foot of snow. We've seen over that on Long Island. I mean, it's really over-delivered in a few spots. Or actually, I say that, but like those bands, they set up exactly where we kind of thought they would, and they've actually done a pretty decent job. So also in Long Island, blizzard warning remaining in effect until 6 p.m. because we're still seeing that.
Right, and our Reagan Medji is live along Long Island, in Port Jefferson. And Reagan, you know, you have the technical blizzard, and that doesn't necessarily mean snow has to continue to fall, and you guys are still seeing those gusty winds.
Yeah, we are. We're not seeing as much snow as before, but sometimes, you know, it depends on what part of the island you're on. I'm on Long Island in Suffolk County in Port Jefferson, the village of, and you can see it's almost like a ghost town here. There's no one out. If they are out, they're shoveling, and if they're on the roadways, well, they're going to take it slow. You can kind of see the roadways right next to me. You know, it looks like it's been treated a little bit. It's a little wetter than it had been, and, you know, people are taking it slow. The travel ban that was put into place last night by Governor Cuomo, It's been lifted all for the entire Long Island area, New York City, and the Hudson Valley. However, if you're going to take the roads, you got to take it slow because look at them. They're not in tip-top condition. You just got to be safe. You got to be smart about it. You got plows back here. You see that? That's a lot of the vehicles. If you do see them on the road, you're going to see the plows. You might see some medical, emergency ambulances or even some police. And behind here, I'm going to probably step this way so you can see. There's a front end loader, and there's somebody, using their snow blower. That's the Bridgeport Port Jefferson Ferry Terminal. Yesterday they stopped service about 4:45. I was told at that point they were going to look at resuming service today. And speaking of resuming service, the Long Island Railroad, which is a humongous transportation for, vessel transportation for people who live here in Port Jefferson and Long Island and then hop on the train and go to work in New York City. New York City is faring pretty well as well. I mean, the blizzard warning is done for them, but it continues here for the island until I believe 6 o'clock at night. But, you look at this, people are starting to move. But if you're going to do it, move slowly here in Suffolk County on Long Island. Guys, back to you.
Reagan Medji in Port Jefferson. I just want to say with Reagan Shive, because Reagan, behind you, this is what happens when you have everyone off the roads and the crews can get to work. You have, almost 2 feet of snow and the roads look in pretty good shape. So stay off the roads if you can a little bit longer and let those crews get back at it. It'll just get you back to normal that much faster. And just want to show you, we're not quite done. This is a look at the radar. And you still have a few areas of some snow showers, and the visibility kind of tells you how quickly it's coming down. You have Farmingdale at 3/4 mile visibility. So if you're doing the LIE, New Jersey Turnpike, the Garden State Parkway, Sawmill River Parkway, you are all going to continue to see snow, and the blowing snow, quite possibly an additional inch or two, especially if a couple of those areas set up with that heavier band. But certainly New England still in the zone to pick up several more inches snowfall over the next few hours. And Kate, with all of this, you still have those winds 30, 40 miles per hour.
Yeah, so I mean, that's adding a danger element here. The winter storm still incredibly dangerous if you lose power. So we need to get you some tips. These are from FEMA on what you do if you do lose power. Now, if you have friends, family that lose power, remind them that you can watch us on weather.com. We are live streaming there for those that lose power. Now, staying indoors, that is key. At all times during the storm, stay inside, stay warm. If the pipes do freeze, here's what you should do. Remove any insulation or newspapers or anything that you have around them and wrap the pipes in some rags. Then you want to completely open all those faucets and pour some hot water over those pipes to try and ease that ice.
Just a few things to help you save hundreds of dollars and making that call. So let's do that. We want to continue to show pictures of what it's like out there so you don't have to go out there. Hartford, Connecticut, gray, snowy, and 22 degrees.
My goal was to finally get in shape. Not to be focusing again on my moderate to severe chronic plaque psoriasis. So I finally made a decision to talk to my dermatologist about Humira. Humira works inside my body to target and help block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to my symptoms. In clinical trials, most adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis saw 75% skin clearance on Humira, and the majority of people were clear or almost clear in just 4 months.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Set a new goal today. Ask your dermatologist about Humira, because with Humira, clear skin is possible.
Oh no. Can you fix it, Dad?
Yeah, I can fix that. I wanted a car that could handle anything. I fixed it! That's why I got a Subaru Legacy.
Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 36 mpg.
I gotta break more toys.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Legacy. It's not just a sedan, it's a Subaru.
We build weather adventures.
Wow. Anybody else surprised it actually worked? Mother Nature can absolutely change people.
I'm ready to get out of here and create a new track.
This is a tornado emergency.
It was hard to believe when
Sunny is back.
What? Oh, God.
And looking better than ever.
American Girl, blue eyes, blonde hair.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The all-new season premieres Wednesday, January 14th at 10, only on FXX.
Enjoy a spectacular two-night Bahamas Paradise Cruise from just $149. Call 800-814-7100 and let the fun begin. That's 800-814-7100.
One car travels towards an intersection with wipers that streak and clog, while another travels towards the same intersection with wiper blades that don't let them see clearly. But between them, the Michelin Man with Michelin Stealth Wiper Blades, a revolution in wiper blade technology, combining SmartFlex construction for superior windshield contact with proven hybrid blade design for clog-free performance in rain, ice, and snow, helping you steer clear for the road ahead. Michelin Stealth Wiper Blades, a better way forward.
And shipping is always free.
Visit DealDash.com and start bidding today.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8s brought to you by Olive Garden. Discover the delicious new things Olive Garden is bringing to the table. In Rome, dinner means lingering over 4 courses. In Florence, celebrating the evening. And in Naples, there's always time for dessert. Introducing Olive Garden's first ever 4-course, starting at $12.99. Salad and breadsticks, an individual appetizer, one of 6 irresistible entrees, and a dolcini for dessert. 4 courses starting at just $12.99. As they say in Rome, Georgia, Florence, South Carolina, and Naples, Florida. We're all family here at Olive Garden.
Currently in our area, 61 degrees under fair skies. Today, sunny, high 70, winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, some passing clouds, low 50, winds west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, plentiful sunshine, high 67, winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Just about 20 minutes past the hour. New pictures in from Massachusetts of Winter Storm Juno blasting through the Northeast and New England. This is in Tisbury, where Martha's Vineyard is, and they could see up to a foot of snow there. My guess is that they're pretty well on their way by the looks of that picture. And here you go. Cleanup has begun in North Attleboro in Massachusetts. They have already gotten about 14 inches of snow there. Could see an additional 6 to 10 inches. Now, remember, we love seeing these pictures. Love getting your video. Help us out here. Text the word Juno to 99000. You may just see your images on the air. Remember, it helps us out tremendously if you hold your phone horizontally when taking that video. All right, we want to bring in Dr. Greg Postel to kind of give us some of the fine-tuned updates. We're sitting here looking at the radar. There's still a lot to still happen here with this storm system, and watching some areas actually blossom with another round of heavy snow.
I know, Boston, we were just looking at the radar, right? There's they sort of tapered off a little bit this morning to some light to moderate snow. Now another heavy band is coming back in. So let's look at the forecast, shall we, for the next few hours.
Let's do it.
Maria, and there it is. You think by noon, maybe 80, 90 miles east of Nantucket, but only slowly going in that direction. And when I mean slowly, it means it's going to continue to feed in those bands back to the west. So by 5 o'clock tonight, there could be some heavy snow bands with accumulation rates over 1 inch per hour. Still in eastern Massachusetts.
So the snow mechanism, the snowmaking mechanism of the storm isn't being pulled off the coast. It's sliding parallel, so you still have the ability to put down quite a bit.
That's exactly right. It's called the forcing for ascent, Maria, and that's sort of fancy schmancy talk, right? For a lot of lift occurring way to the northwest of where the surface cyclone is. So, and that is going to be, as you mentioned, in place across eastern New England throughout the day and through early nighttime hours. And then probably early in the morning tomorrow, we start to see some drier air work in, and the support, the upper level forcing, begin to weaken as the whole thing moves in the Canadian Maritimes.
And we do have some of these finer details with the storm setup, the storm making, that is going to lead to additional snow totals that in some cases maybe areas have seen only half of what they're getting.
Right, exactly. Let's look at some of those areas. For example, in eastern Massachusetts, Maria, you pointed this out accurately. See that little dark area of blue? This is another band that seems to be intensifying as it goes back toward the northwest through Boston and likewise locations to the west. We are going to see more and more of these today, so it is not over. Even if you get a temporary lull, it's a long day ahead.
Right, so you see that blue getting darker, that's heavier snow. Dr. Greg Postel, thank you so much. Kate?
Well, as you might expect, this storm has had a crippling effect on all forms of travel, with road restrictions overnight and airports closed. And when you're talking about major hubs on the East Coast, this ripple effect stretches across the entire country. NBC's Tom Costello reports.
On the ground at what are normally bustling East Coast airports, the ramps and runways largely deserted overnight. At JFK Airport, hundreds of passengers stranded after being stuck on the ramp on the plane for hours. Among them, Alexis DeHaas.
We then got ushered back into the area in the terminal and just left really to our own devices.
Thousands of flights in the Northeast canceled. From Pittsburgh,
I think I'd rather be in the South right now,
to Newark, where Gina Poletti was trying to get to Germany.
Swiss Air seemed to have canceled all of their flights, so I rebooked with United. However, I'm having some issues checking in.
New York's LaGuardia Airport was a ghost town by dinner time. The concourses locked up.
So many cancellations, not a single person here trying to check in.
With a third of the nation's air traffic transiting through New York airspace, the delays and cancellations have been rippling across the country. In Los Angeles, we found Kevin Donaldson trying to get back to New York.
I got about an hour's sleep last night between looking at the internet, searching flights, looking for cancellations, just trying to get out of here.
No dice. Take a look at this incredible time lapse of air traffic over the eastern U.S. Monday, thinning out over the day, then virtually empty as night fell. While on the roads, an armada of snowplows has been trying to stay ahead of the storm. The message the same from Pennsylvania to Maine.
I can't stress this part enough. Please stay off the roads.
This morning, a huge section of the country is quite simply frozen in place.
All right, we want to get you the latest update on what travel looks like right now, but here's the deal. You're not going to see it reflected on this map. We got to take you straight to the cancellation board because things aren't delayed. They're just straight up canceled. Let's get right to that board and talk about the number that we have. We have a lot of cancellations. Over 5,000 flights canceled right now because airports are shut down due to Winter Storm Juno. So this major one causing biggest problems, and you can see LaGuardia, one of our biggest spots, 11 inches of snow is what we saw at LaGuardia so far with Juno. Maria?
And Kate, you know that the catch-up is going to be played out tomorrow and the day after. So we'll be here for you, making sure your flights get out on time, and we'll tell you when that will happen. In the meantime, though, we are still going strong with Winter Storm Juno. This is a live look at Providence, Rhode Island. Look at this wind and the snow, 17 degrees right now, making Providence proud every day. Anaritas Rodriguez telling me that is called the Superman building because it resembles Gotham, but it's actually the Bank of America building, looking stormy right now.
You used to sleep like a champ. Then boom, what happened? Stress, fun, bad habits, kids? Now what? Let's build a new, smarter bed using the dual air chambers to sense your movement, heartbeat, breathing. Introducing the Sleep Number bed with Sleep IQ technology. It tracks your sleep and tells you how to adjust for a good, better, and an awesome night. The difference? Try adjusting up or down. You'll know because Sleep IQ tells you. Only at a Sleep Number store where you'll find the best buy-rated mattress with Sleep IQ technology. No better sleep with Sleep Number.
Thanks for the ride around Norfolk. And I just wanted to say Geico is proud to have served the military for over 75 years.
Roger that. Captain's waiting to give you a tour of the Wisconsin now.
Could have parked parked a little bit closer. It's going to be dark by the time I get there.
Geico, proudly serving the military for over 75 years.
I've seen hurricanes, floods, I've seen tornadoes. We give out Duracell batteries after the worst happens. And when the power's out for days, we stay with them. You might say they lost everything, but that's not what I see. I see a different kind of power. I saw it in Ruth, Adam, Tom. It's the power they have inside of them. The power to move forward.
At Duracell, we believe that's the power that never, ever goes out.
Hi, this is Jennifer. I will be out of the office until Monday and won't be checking voicemail during this time. I'll reply just as soon as I get back to work.
Sail with the #1 cruise line in Alaska. Save up to $500 during our 50th anniversary sale. Call your travel consultant or 1-800-PRINCESS. Princess Cruises. Come back new.
I'm outside. Where are you? I'm right here. I'm in the Buick. I don't see a Buick. Oh, got it.
The expectation-shattering Buick Encore.
Wow.
Now experience Buick's newest crossover and pay no interest for 5 years. Plus get $1,500 purchase cash on the 2014 Buick Encore.
Why are you all here? To learn, right? So you can get a good job, so you're not working for peanuts. Well, what if I told you that peanuts can work for you? While you guys are busy napping, peanuts are delivering 7 grams of protein and 6 essential nutrients right to your mouth. You ever seen a peanut take a day off? No. Peanuts don't even get casual khaki Fridays because peanuts take their job seriously. So unless you want a life of skimming Wi-Fi off the neighbors, you'll harness the hard-working power of the peanut.
Your Super Bowl party is on NBC. Starting with the Today Show. Then at noon, our team breaks down the big game. Katy Perry prepares for the Pepsi Super Bowl halftime show, and the best team brings you Super Bowl 49. Then, don't miss a special Blacklist and Tonight Show after the game, only on NBC.
Stay with us for the latest on Winter Storm Juno.
We're far from over with this.
We're live from across the region with more in a moment. Only the Weather Channel.
Take a look at this brand new picture we have coming. Look at this. Oof. Whoa, this is the first time we're seeing this as well. From Marshfield, Massachusetts. The waves there have been epic. This major seawall brought down during the high tide. Obviously, we had storm surge. That was a major factor in this. That storm surge overnight peaked, but we're going to see a return of that with our next high tide.
And the point of that seawall is to serve some protection. So obviously, this is going to leave them more vulnerable to coastal flooding during the next tide, which is around 5 p.m. So we are going to continue to watch that situation unfold.
All right. Well, thank you for staying with us here on Weather Center Live. I'm Kate Parker.
And I'm Maria LaRosa. And we continue to watch what's unfolding in New York City, where life is trying to get back to normal here. You still see not a lot of traffic in Times Square. Foot traffic picking up as some of the snow has eased up.
You know, those buildings really help you. They protect you a little bit. In Central Park, you got 7.8 inches of snow, and it's still snowing. So it's not as though you didn't see any snow there, but you are a little more protected there right in the city. Let's go ahead and catch you up on the very latest with Winter Storm Juno. This is the information we have just into us. The travel bans have been lifted in New Jersey and New York City. Again, that's just the city there. Mayor Bill de Blasio will hold a press conference at any minute. We're going to go to that whenever he comes up live. Amtrak is suspending service north of New York and reducing its train schedule south of New York due to Juno.
And unfortunately, we have this news to pass along. A 17-year-old New York boy has died after losing control of his snow tube and hitting a light pole on Long Island. And the U.S. Postal Service has suspended mail delivery today in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New York.
In Boston, you know that the snow is just coming down still, something fierce. It is a ferocious storm there. That's where our storm tracker, Jim Cantori, he was welcomed by the newspaper. The Boston Herald welcomed you there. Do you think that it was fitting? Do you feel welcome?
I feel incredibly welcome. It all started with a bowl of clam chowder, actually, and I knew I was back home. It was really that simple, ladies. It was that simple. Guys, I wanted to show you this last half hour, so let's do it right out of the gate. Let's look at this power outage map, and this tells the tale of the tape. Where's the wind been the strongest? in the east, right? So look at the power outage maps. That's where we have the abundance of power outages here, about 35,000. This is MEMA's Massachusetts power outage map. And again, the Provincetown and Nantucket completely without power at this time. Nantucket really taking it on a chin as well with a storm surge open, if you will, to the northeast from the bay. We had the entire bay actually kind of wash right into downtown Nantucket. All right, guys, it's time to move from student to teacher. A few years ago, I got the privilege of teaching this young man, or at least show him a few tricks about doing TV weather. He was already good enough. He didn't really need me. Keith Carson, ladies and gentlemen. He's on the Weather Channel. He went to Linden State College, as did I. And Keith has never been on snowshoes. And what was it, about 11 o'clock last night, you said, I'm not getting on these things, or I'm not going to do these things.
We got to try it out. And it's amazing to me that I've lived in Vermont and Maine, and it's never come up. I've never tried it. So, you know, we figured let's try it on live TV. What could go wrong?
Yeah, this is, you know, you pass the buck, right? This is how we're going to do it. And so we're going to go out here in the snow and do it for real. We've got about, what do we say, Keith, about 13, 14 inches on the ground?
Yeah, it looks pretty good, 14, 15.
Yeah,
we got to crest the inch and a half under there.
We're around this. And of course, the thing with the snowshoes is to keep you above the snow a little bit.
Yeah.
And you can get a little acceleration.
You can get a little acceleration. I don't know about me.
Oh, you can do it. You can do it. Just pump it, pump it, pump it. Of course, the hard part is to turn around and run back up the hill.
All right, we'll go back uphill. I'm going to run behind you because you're packing that down.
Yeah, that's smart. See how smart this kid is? You see what I taught him? He said he's going to go behind me because I'm packing the snow. That's perfect.
I'll let you do the heavy lifting.
Mission accomplished. So, yeah, you know, you hate that this puts people out, certainly, and that's the bad part about the storms like this. But a lot of times a winter situation can be fun, and this is certainly one of those times. So Keith will now be exhausted for the rest of the afternoon, but he will deliver you great TV, I promise you that.
The real question is, can I do this in skinny jeans? That's what I want to know. Can this be done in a tighter kind of pant?
You know, you're going to have to find out, brother.
Pioneering.
Yeah, you got them with you. We'll put them on. We'll do that for the next shot.
They're under there.
I had a feeling. All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Keith Carson in skinny jeans and snowshoes, only on the Weather Channel.
You know, like Keith said, it's live TV. What could go wrong? I am looking forward to that and all of the replays on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, etc.
Yeah, all the YouTube hits later, yes.
Gentlemen, thank you so much.
The YouTube replay.
Oh, yeah. It should be something. If I can get past a cat video on YouTube, I'm going to consider that a victory.
Remember, you wipe out in those jeans, though, it's wet pants for the rest of the night.
It is.
Just saying.
Life is full of risks and reward, right?
There you go. Keith Carson, only on the Weather Channel, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies, we'll keep you posted. We're like I said, we're about 13 now with snow. 20 inches is a pretty good bet, I think, for Boston.
Good shot at it. And it's not, you know, everybody looks at 24, 28. After a certain amount, it doesn't matter. The city's shut down.
It doesn't matter. And that's really where the compliments go. Massachusetts, Connecticut this time, Rhode Island, shutting everything down, letting the road crews get out and do their thing. They've been here in the Common already. I mean, look.
Right.
We're almost down to nothing here. So they've been working this well. They worked the roads here. Of course, we got Beacon Street up here. I mean, guys, seriously. No question, Massachusetts will get back on its feet real quick. Ladies, back to you.
Absolutely, and it's thanks to gentlemen like yourselves, Jim and Keith, getting the word out, allowing everyone to get off the road so that the crews can get on. And Kate, a big part of that is they can do that, and then everyone's back to business that much faster.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and take you now somewhere else where Postal Service is being suspended. We've got it suspended in 4 states, including Rhode Island. They're saying that service will resume tomorrow when it is safe to do so. That's why our Chris Warren is live in Providence, Rhode Island for us this morning. Now, Chris, we've seen your visibility kind of change. That snow is blowing sideways. I mean, it's sideways, Chris.
It is. We have seen a lot of this. We have seen the flatbeds going by. Not a lot of cars on them. That's a good thing. A lot of plows as well. Remember earlier when I was showing you where the curb was, talking about the drift? Well, now look at all of this snow right here that has drifted. Some of the snows I pushed back, but all of this filled in that hole that I had. So it's a tough task with this blowing snow because they come along, they plow, and then they have to, a few minutes later, plow again. Now, Jim and Keith were having a little bit of fun playing in the snow. I don't want to be left out. So, Rodney, can you get me? I'm going to try to face plant in the snow. You got me, Rodney? It's a reverse snow angel on the move. That's a lot of snow we're talking about here.
Oh, Chris.
It drifts.
How many?
There's a lot of snow.
How much snow would you estimate that you're standing in right now?
How much what?
How much snow would you estimate you're in right now?
How much snow? It's at least a foot right here. And this is it's a hill, so it was blowing off it last night as we were walking up our satellite truck's right there. We're walking up this hill, and I keep walking down this to show you the parking lot right here. In that parking lot has measured consistent 9 inches of snow, and some areas though there's feet, and it's the drifting snow that when the wind's pulling it, when the wind slows down, whether it's a fence or a car, the snow settles behind it. So yeah, guys, 3-4 feet of drifts, not out of the question.
And thankfully it's a fluffier snow, because that would have hurt.
That would have been painful.
That would have been
if it had not been this very light, fluffy stuff. And obviously we don't necessarily recommend you do very much of that because you don't know what's always underneath it. And Chris is smart and he checked first, right?
I did know what was here.
Yeah, he checked first. He's been there.
I didn't know what was here, though.
He's been there for like 3 days, so he knows exactly what's there. So thanks so much, Chris. We really appreciate you giving us those awesome visuals of just how much snow has come down and why you shouldn't be going outside.
Right, and I know you noticed all the utility trucks behind there. Chris was telling us that there were maybe a dozen last night. There are now 30 or so currently. So from other states have come in anticipation that there may be power outage problems, which is what we love to hear because we want to be proactive when it comes to that. So, and we want to bring in Dr. Greg Postel. And Greg, you know, when their power goes out, they still have to worry about the gusty winds when they're trying to go fix those problems, and they're still out there.
Yeah, and even when the snow stops, the winds are going to be still blowing pretty hard. This is a powerful cyclone moving into the Gulf of Maine right now with a pressure about 975 millibars, roughly 100 miles east of Nantucket. Let's time it out for everybody and see when the end is finally coming. New York City, probably not many more hours to go. And then Boston, you're going to have some heavy snow, I think, move in this afternoon and this evening, still to come. So that 20 inches total that Cantori was forecasting may be on target when you look at some of the model guidance then. And then the northwest winds kick in, and it is blustery and cold for the rest of the night, with down east Maine still getting hit hard. Guys, stay tuned for all the latest in our winter storm coverage. Winter Storm Juno. We'll be right back.
Consequence number 5, the sleepless night. Sorry. Robitussin DM Max Nighttime's dual-action liquid instantly soothes your throat and delivers fast, powerful cough relief. Robitussin, don't suffer the consequences.
Shopping online is as easy as it gets. Wouldn't it be great if hiring plumbers, carpenters, and even piano tuners were just as simple? Thanks to Angie's List, now it is. We've made hiring anyone from a handyman to a dog walker as simple as a few clicks. Buy their services directly at angieslist.com. No more calling around, no more hassles. Start shopping from a list of top-rated providers today.
Angie's List is revolutionizing local service again. Visit angieslist.com today.
Losing your Chex Mix too easily? Deploy the Boring Potato Chip Decoy Bag. With a variety of tastes and textures, only Chex Mix has 20 bags of interesting. Pick your mix.
Heartburn.
Did someone say burn? Try Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. They work just as fast and are proven to taste better than Tums Smoothies assorted fruit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
Sir, we're gonna need you on the runway later.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu with the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. It breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
We used to have so many empty rolls. Mom! That's why we switched to Charmin Ultra Mega Roll.
Charmin Ultra Mega Roll is 75% more absorbent, so you can use less with every go. Plus, it even lasts longer than the leading 1000 sheet brand.
Charmin Ultra Mega Roll.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
Oh, there's an energy crisis happening, all right. A human one. And it's time to fight it. With the good energy of Quaker Oats. It's how we help keep go-getters like you going and getting. One bite at a time. Try new Quick Steel Cut oatmeal for a heartier texture. Quaker Up.
I'm going to share a photo of my Eggo waffle when it pops up.
That's so interesting, honey, because I'm going to share a photo of my Eggo waffle when it pops up.
Lego my Eggo.
Lego my Eggo. Hey, leave a message.
Hi, I know you're there because I can see you. I'm calling you to tell you to Lego my Eggo.
Some things are too delicious to share. Golden, crispy, warm and fluffy Eggo waffles.
Lego my Eggo.
And I turn around and there's 3 rattlesnakes.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't worry, Rob. You're covered.
State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
No pictures of trucks pulling boats. No photos of men working on ranches. Just a Ram 1500 Eco Diesel that gets 156 more miles per tank than the Ford F-150 EcoBoost. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com.
We're going to take you live now to Rhode Island, where Gina Raimondo, the governor of that state, is holding a press conference as we speak.
With Tim Horan from National Grid, we expect to be at about 300 within the next hour. So again, we're balancing public safety. They can only get so many crews out there in this weather, but we're pushing them and they are working as hard as they can. I'd love to see us down to 300 outages within the next hour. There's been one gas fire that is in Providence. Providence Fire Department is on it, working with National Grid, and that is under control. Nursing homes and hospitals, we've checked in with all of them. Everything is in good condition and generators are running. I will tell you from having just got off of a plow, even the highways are not really passable. There's zero visibility. So my message continues to be as follows. The travel ban is still in effect. We want everybody off the roads. Travel ban is still in effect. I'm extending the closure of state government until 10 o'clock tonight, and I'll continue to keep you posted later today. With respect to when we're going to lift the travel ban, I'm not going to consider that until conditions vastly improve. So we'll come back later this afternoon with an update. But at this point, the travel ban is firmly in place, and we won't even think about lifting it until we see conditions improving. We see, in New York and in southern Connecticut, the sun's shining there and things look better. So if that's what's coming our way, then we'll think about lifting the travel ban. But right now, Rhode Island's still getting hammered, and we're going to get a lot more snow today and a lot more drift, so the travel ban is still in effect. I do just want to remind people, as I have consistently, if you have a power outage, please call 211. Call 211 for a power outage, or you can call National Grid directly, 1-800-465-1212. If you have a health emergency or other emergency, 911. Call 911 and we'll come out and we'll take care of you. Please remember that house fires occur more frequently in the winter. Keep space heaters away from bedding and clothing and turn them off. And if you smell any gas, please call National Grid. I just have to say another big thank you to all the people that have been working. We have had hundreds of people out awake all night. National Grid teams have been out. The DOT plows have been out. Local mayors and their DPWs have been out. We have, hundreds and hundreds of families who have sacrificed their loved ones to us. The state police, these troopers have been out all night long, and I commend every single one of them. Because of the state police and the National Grid and the National Guard and the DOT, our people have been safe. And I'm very proud of you and know that as your governor, I'm grateful for your service. So I'm happy to answer a few questions.
Governor, the meteorologists you're consulting, they have a projected time approximately that they think this storm is going to end, and then Dr. Lewis, you may want to address this. Given that point in time when they think the storm is going to end, when do you estimate the roads might be in a passable condition?
Well, we are anticipating significant more snow accumulation between now and 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, we anticipate the snow to ease up. and we anticipate it will stop at around 10 o'clock tonight. If people stay off the roads,
all right, so what you're listening to here is Gina Raimondo, the governor of Rhode Island, letting people know that she came in there on a snowplow. The highways even though they are working hard to keep them plowed, are not safe to travel. Therefore, they are keeping the travel ban in place until, quote, things vastly improve. Right. So she's not giving an end on that, even though we've seen some changes happen in New Jersey and New York with travel bans. Right. That's not happening in Rhode Island just yet.
Yeah, she mentioned that's a whole other situation. She's concerned about her Rhode Island residents, and that's going to be the case. Also, that they are continuing the government closure. That's been extended till 10 p.m.
All right, we want to take you now to Massachusetts, where the snow is coming down something fierce. This is in Somerville. We're going now to Jeff Saperstone, who's live there for us with NECN. How are you handling this?
Yeah, you know, I think we're getting close to 2 feet here, but without the real wind, it hasn't been, and it's not been too cold, but you know, live on this street, there's a lot of cars that are
Okay, we're going to have to check in with Jeff in a little bit. Obviously, we're having some issues there with some of his sound because we've got blizzard conditions across much of Massachusetts.
And I don't know, we just caught the end of that shot right there. The car was basically buried in that snow.
We've seen 30 inches in some spots of Massachusetts already.
All right, another area that has been put in a pretty difficult situation because of all the snow that's been falling. They too measuring in some spots in feet. Our Reagan Medji live in Port Jefferson on Long Island. And Reagan, we've been talking about maybe some of the skies brightening a little bit, but the winds are still pretty gusty.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that there is some type of warmth on my face. It is the sun. It is coming out at this point. But take a look. We're in the port area of Port Jefferson, and you can look at the ocean, and you can see it being very, very choppy back there and beyond. Now, this is the Bridgeport-Port Jefferson Terminal Ferry. The ferry takes everybody from Connecticut and back. You know, yesterday we were here. We were talking about how they made trout. They usually run this guy until 7:45 at night. However, yesterday they stopped early. But take a look at this. Today, we came by and we wanted to see, you know, the Long Island Railroad is back in service. The Metro North is back in service, both on Sunday schedules. What about the ferry? Boom. Due to blizzard, do no. There you are. Ferry's not running today, Tuesday, 27th of January. So what are the crews doing? They are here at the port, and they are doing what they can to make sure that the port is ready for everybody who will be coming back tomorrow, because right now they're looking at resuming all the service tomorrow. And you see, this is a parking lot, and you can see back this way, you got that front end loader. My viewers will be happy that I finally figured out what a front end loader is. It's moving the snow to and fro and making these enormous piles you see around me. I mean, check this out. This is just some of the snow that's been moved. Now, if you're looking at, you know, Suffolk County, where we're at right now in Long Island, we're looking at, you know, Orient, Suffolk County, which is near Montauk, all the way at the end east, that way, at the end of Long Island. They have topped out at this point at 28.5 inches of snow. And, you know, it looks like the snow is kind of lessening up right now. It's not as heavy as it was before, but the winds still are kicking up. Travel ban has been lifted for all of Long Island, New York City, and the Hudson Valley. But you want to take it easy on the roadways, because no matter where you go, you're still going to have this slickness in these spots here. And then, of course, if you stay off the roadways, like Kate Parker has said, the front end loaders and the plows can do what they do best, remove the snow, so tomorrow things can finally get back in order. Guys, back to you.
All right, Reagan Medji in Port Jefferson, thank you so much. We want to take you to Nantucket in Massachusetts, where they've lost power since this morning as Juno hit. Several homes, streets flooded, and we have seen incredible pictures like this of the flooding with chunks of ice in there as well. We want to get right to some of the latest news developments there.
Yeah, rescue workers were trying to get about a dozen people out of flooded homes there. And joining us live on the phone is Police Chief Pittman on the phone with us right now. William Pittman, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi.
How how are things going on Nantucket? What is the very latest?
Well, the wind's still blowing. The snow seems to have stopped accumulating, although it seems to be pushing, the wind's pushing it around quite a bit. But the flooding's been receding as expected as the tide goes down, but we're still experiencing a lot of wind damage from trees down, power wires down, etc. And we still have not had the power restored to the island.
Can you tell us the status on some of the rescues and the evacuations that we've been hearing about?
Well, we've had a few different incidents. We've had to remove a few people because of flooding where there's up to 2 feet of water in their living rooms and bedrooms, people that live down along the harbor. And then we've had a couple instances where the storm has blown out large picture windows or things like that. And we've had to remove the people from their homes. Many of those are on the North Shore, kind of remote areas of the island. So that indicates there's some pretty powerful wind out there. Now we're dealing with removing people who are oxygen dependent or other types of medical dependency. We're getting them from their homes into either shelter or the hospital.
All right. Nantucket Police Chief William Pittman, thank you so much for your time this morning, and we'll continue to watch that situation there.
All right. We want to go straight to Mayor Bill de Blasio. He is coming to us live now.
In the vast majority of the city, we did not even hit 10.
One top of everybody. And then let me grab some tongs here. You take some of your roast rapini. You pile the rapini up on the plate. You top it with a little chicken sausage. Very figure friendly, very healthy. This is the way John likes it. Ciabatta, olive oil, rapini, chicken sausage, Parmigiano cheese. So, here's the boy version. Here's the girly version. One more bit of business. Grab a snack. You must be hungry by now and come on back.
On Thursday, the one, the only, President Bill Clinton.
So do presidents change diapers or do you veto?
There's more moving parts than there was when I was a dad.
Don't miss Rachel's one-on-one with President Clinton. All new on Thursday.
Sir, we're going to need you on the runway later. Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu. It has the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. Theraflu breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms, so you never miss a day. Theraflu, serious power.
Nervous whitening will damage your teeth? Introducing new Listerine Healthy White. It not only safely whitens teeth, but also restores enamel. Lose the nerves and get a healthier, whiter smile that you'll love. Listerine Healthy White. Power to your mouth.
You know, I worry about the weather so you don't have to, because you have better things to do. Only on News Channel 5.
How much
much can Steiger Isco and Green get you? This accident turned Richard's life upside down.
So he called Steiger, Isco, and Green. They got Richard $160,000.
Steiger, Isco, and Green got $69,000 for this crash.
$235,000 for this accident. That's real money for real people.
Steiger turned this crash into $1.3 million.
Wow, that's serious money.
If you've been injured in a car accident,
call Steiger Isco and Green.
How much can Steiger, Isco, and Green get you?
1-800-561-1111. Non-lawyer spokespersons.
The savings are lined up and ready to go. It's the Super Sale at H.H. Gregg. Save up to 30% off store-wide. A 47-inch LG LED TV, just $399. Plus no down payment, no interest for 24 months. Now at H.H. Gregg and hhgregg.com.
Girl, I like to watch the Tom Jones show, but I thought Tom Jones could see me back, so it was the only way my mother could actually get me to put on a dress was to tell me that Tom Jones could see me. We want to know what you guys do when we're visiting together at home, so we want you to go to our show site and show us how you watch our show. Sort of like, art imitating life, imitating art. That's so creepy. It looks like I'm sitting in her house. Look at him having coffee here. Boy, I am everywhere. Oh, she's hula hooping. I love that. I stink at hula hooping, but that's really cute. We'd love to see how we start your day or hang out with you in the afternoon, so go to our website and share. Thanks everybody here for hanging out with us, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye-bye.
Coming up, the latest on airport conditions as a blizzard still leads to whiteout conditions in the Northeast. Also, a local teenager accused of shooting her boyfriend in the head, why she told police killing him wasn't what she wanted. We're back in just 30 seconds.
How much can Steiger Isco and Green get you?
After Joseph's car accident, the insurance company only offered him a little money. He said,
"Really? I've got real injuries. I need serious money ASAP."
What did Joseph do?
He called Steiger, Isco, and Green.
And we got him over $435,000.
Don't let the insurance company pay less than you really deserve.
We're Steiger, Isco, and Green.
And we'll go after all the money you have coming.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, call us.
How much can Steiger, Isco, and Green get you?
1-800-561-1111. Non-lawyer spokespersons.
Live, local, from WPTV. This is News Channel 5 at noon. Local coverage you can count on.
A massive snowstorm still belting parts of the Northeast. Some places could see more than 3 feet of snow before it's all over. In New York, that storm was less than expected. Travel bans have been lifted in New York City as well as New Jersey and parts of Connecticut. But in Massachusetts, the historic storm is living up to its billing, with some cities already registering 2.5 feet, and the forecast calls for more snow today. The storm's effects are being felt down here, with more than 100 flights canceled in South Florida. Just part of a bigger picture, though, in which more than 7,000 flights have been canceled out of the Northeast. In our area, it is clear skies, a little cool, but of course, hey, we have nothing to complain about. Let's get back, though, to Massachusetts real quickly, though. It is in the eye of the storm, and with more snow expected this afternoon, let's get the latest from Chris Pallone. He is live in Boston.
Hardy New Englanders were stopped in their tracks by this historic snowstorm. Thick bands of snow and whipping winds pummeled Boston to Rhode Island, dumping as much as 2 to 4 inches an hour at its peak. Governors from 5 states declared states of emergency on Monday, telling citizens to stay home and off the roads. Crews plowed streets and highways trying to stay ahead of the mounting snow. Today, officials are again warning people to take a snow day and stay off the streets.
People should spend the morning cleaning out, digging out, doing the sorts of things, sidewalks, fire hydrants.
Air travel in the Northeast is crippled. All 3 of New York's major airports were closed. Airlines canceled more than 6,000 flights in the last 24 hours. The ripple effect will take days to recover from. New York City dodged a bullet when the storm strayed slightly off course, leaving the city with about 8 inches in Central Park. Other areas of New York were harder hit, though. Long Island received 16 inches more in other places.
We don't want to give people a false sense of security. If you have to travel, you can, but if it's non-essential, we wouldn't recommend it.
The worst appears to be over. Once the wind and snow subsides, damage can be assessed and the big dig can begin. At least 1.5 feet of snow has fallen here in Boston Common, and it continues to come down, but you don't have to go far to find totals upwards of 30 inches just north and west of the city. School will be out again tomorrow as the big cleanup continues. In Boston, Chris Pallone, WPTV News Channel 5.
So what does all this mean for you? For airline travelers, it has been pretty rough, as you can guess. A lot of cancellations at PBIA. In fact, all flights to New York, Boston, and Philly, they were canceled early on out of West Palm, as well as Fort Lauderdale and Miami. JetBlue, which had the most cancellations out of PBIA, confirmed to us that all flights from West Palm to New York are canceled at least until tomorrow. And you can always find the status of your flight or check on other flights in and out of the Northeast, how they're doing, simply by going to WPTV.com. Passengers on one of the last planes scheduled to get out of Boston will not be arriving in West Palm Beach, at least for another day. Just before they were about to take off on that JetBlue flight, they had to return back to the gate because there was a threat. Security searched the plane. They didn't find anything. The flight was canceled anyway, and all 135 passengers were rebooked. However, because of the blizzard, they won't get out today.
Now, Storm Team 5 with South Florida's most accurate weather forecast.
Up north, so maybe not the best idea to tell them about, Glenn, our chilly weather, because we certainly have warmed up just a little bit since this morning. I'm ashamed to say I used my seat warmer on the way to work.
I know. I tried talking to my sister yesterday up in the Northeast, and I said, oh, it's going to be chilly here. And she said, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it from you. So here's what we're looking at today. I mean, by our standards, this is some very chilly weather. We've got the shaky camera here because winds are gusty out of the northwest. There you see lots of blue skies, though. We don't have much in the way of cloud cover across the entire state. Our temperatures started in the low 40s this morning in Okeechobee, and we had wind chills in the 30s in Okeechobee and Vero in Fort Pierce this morning. We've warmed up nicely into the 60s with a few upper 50s dotted here and there. Should make it up into the mid to even some upper 60s as we continue through the afternoon. That's well below average for this time of year. We've got another cold front on the way for tonight. We'll tell you more about that coming up.
A 17-year-old is in custody charged with manslaughter in the death of her boyfriend. Detectives say Letty Hernandez shot Freddie Hernandez December 30th in their apartment in suburban West Palm Beach, not realizing the gun was loaded. They say she told him that Freddie had given her the gun after they had been arguing. She says she didn't think it was loaded when she aimed at his head. A Boca Raton mother is charged and under arrest, charged with 2 counts of child neglect. Police say that she left 2 kids in her car Sunday night for possibly 7 hours. Police say the 36-year-old woman told them she had taken some type of drug, but didn't know what kind it was. We have been reporting about Palm Beach County considering regulating the Uber transportation company, and right now commissioners are facing a packed crowd of people, mainly taxi cab and limo drivers, who say they should be regulated, Uber that is, just like they are. A story we will continue to follow. If you live in Wellington, you may not know that the big empty plot of land called Cape Park, kind of the latest craze there. It's on State Road 7, and tonight you can tell village leaders what should go there. News Channel 5's Chris Stewart is there with what could happen.
This is the Cape Park property right here off of State Road 7. You can see it's full of crops right now. It's 70 acres. It's being rented out to a farming company. But don't let this fool you. This is very valuable land owned by the Village of Wellington, which would like to see it developed. 6 developers have already come forward with plans for this property, everything ranging from hotels and shopping to housing and apartments. And tonight you have an opportunity to weigh in on what you want to see put here. Take a look at this video shot by Chopper 5, and you can see how big Cape Park is. This meeting is tonight at 7 o'clock at Village Hall. The Village Council going to be giving the developers another opportunity to tell you exactly what they want to see done here, and then you'll have an opportunity to step to the microphone and say what you would like to see happen to Cape Park. There's no official timeline that's been set as far as when any of these ideas could become a reality, but I am told at tonight's meeting an official timetable could begin to take shape. In Wellington, I'm Chris Stewart, WPTV News Channel 5.
West Palm Beach baseball fans are getting closer to being able to cheer on the home team. The Houston Astros and Washington Nationals, they cleared yet another hurdle in their plans to build a two-team spring training center in town. This is a look at the rendering of that potential new site. City commissioners voted yesterday to ask the county's legislative delegation to request state lawmakers amend the boundary descriptions for the stadium site, which is on Haverhill Road and Military Trail. Building the stadium is vital to keeping spring training on the east coast of Florida. Right now, a woman in St. Lucie County, she needs your help to save her pets. Carol Hahn is her name. She has 21 cats, but Fort Pierce City codes say she can only have 5 pets max. She now faces a $250 fine every single day from code enforcement. The group United for Animals helps people like Carol to reduce the burden on you, the taxpayers, as well as shelters and ultimately the animals.
You have an opportunity here where you have 16 cats that need homes. If you just give Carol time, you can give the public time, we will rescue.
Carol says some of her animals still need to be spayed. If you'd like to help, we do have a link on our website at WPTV.com. New at noon, reports say the U.S. Army has decided to charge the sergeant who was released by the Taliban last year with desertion. The Taliban held Sergeant Bo Bergdahl hostage for 5 years before releasing him in exchange for 5 Taliban prisoners. In 2009, the soldier is alleged to have walked away from his post in Afghanistan before he was caught by the terrorists. So far, the Army has not made an official statement. President Obama now in Saudi Arabia. He arrived there a few hours ago to pay respects to King Abdullah, who died last week. He's also meeting with the new king. They're expected to discuss the battle against ISIS, the coup in Yemen, and the dropping oil prices. In Poland today, survivors of the Auschwitz concentration camp, they gather to remember those murdered at the camp by Nazis. This is the 70th anniversary of the liberation of those held here. The Nazis killed more than 1 million people at the camp during World War II, many of them Jews. A city council shooting coming up. We're going to show you how the city council members reacted. We're back in just 60 seconds with more local coverage.
RV blowout sale inside the Palm Beach Convention Center. Huge savings on new and used RVs. This new Itasca by Winnebago Tribute blowout priced at just $369 per month. The RV blowout sale inside the Palm Beach Convention Center.
For many people considering bankruptcy, understanding their options may not always be easy. Federal law allows you to file for bankruptcy under Chapter 7 or Chapter 13. Both may get rid of unsecured debts and stop foreclosures, repossessions, and garnishments. But there are significant differences between the two. I'm Larry Levine. If you're considering bankruptcy, be well informed about how you may eliminate much of your debt while protecting your home, car, and other property. Call us for a consultation.
The RV blowout sale inside the Palm Beach Convention Center. Huge savings on new and used RVs. This new Itasca by Winnebago Sunstar is blowout priced at just $382 per month. The RV blowout sale inside the Palm Beach Convention Center.
Covering America Now with a shooting at a city council meeting. This is in Minnesota last night.
Get down, get down. Everybody get down.
You can hear some of the commotion there. This shooting happened just after two new police officers were sworn in. A man approached them with a gun and started firing. Other officers fired back, killing that gunman. The 2 rookie officers who were shot, they are expected to survive. Again, this is in Minnesota. Police say they do not know what provoked the gunman. Look what some people in Maryland, look what they woke up to find. A large water main. It broke, creating a huge sinkhole. Look at that. It nearly swallowed one car and just about swallowed another. The families in 4 homes nearby, let's just say they didn't stick around to find out what happened. And listen, here's another reason to be careful out there on the roads, because according to a new study by InsuranceQuotes.com, drivers pay an average of 41% more for car insurance after making a single claim. That's up 3 percentage points compared to last year. And Massachusetts still has the largest post-claim increase, where just one claim can lead to those premiums jumping 76%. The Super Bowl battle, not just on the field. In fact, the owner of the New England Patriots is telling the National Football League to apologize if it can't definitely determine the team tampered with air pressure of those footballs. More fun should be coming as this is Media Day at the Super Bowl. And remember, you can watch the games between the Patriots and the Seahawks Sunday night. Kickoff time, 6:30, right here on News Channel 5. The federal government reacts to an investigative report of convicted sex offenders slipping through the cracks. Plus, a family is stunned when they find what's been in a van that they have been driving around for 13 years.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that story. That sounds pretty cool. Okay, let me show you what's going on here as we take a look at the Jensen Beach camera this afternoon. And there's a few people out there walking along the beach. A little chilly. I see them wearing jackets and sweaters. So how long will this cool weather last? We'll talk about it coming up.
Watchdog Wisdom, an all-day News Channel 5 interactive event.
We're uncovering solutions to issues you brought up.
With special reports in every newscast.
And ask us questions live online.
At 6.
They say leave your number, we'll call you back. They never do.
Get your complaints really heard. Then at 11, millions of dollars unclaimed. Find out if a piece of it has your name on it. Watchdog Wisdom, all day Thursday on WPTV News Channel 5.
Never take the insurance company's first offer.
Call Steiger, Isco & Green.
We've gotten our clients 10, 20,
even 30 times more money than the insurance company's original offer. How much can Steiger, Isco & Green get you?
1-800-561-1111. Non-lawyer spokespersons.
You stopped Mike Pasillo's PUD 5 development scheme in its tracks. But Pasillo and PUD 5 didn't go away. That means taller buildings and more congestion. As long as Pasillo sits on town council and developers fund his campaign, our peace and charm are at risk. Michael Scharf is on our side. Scharf is working to protect Palm Beach's character and our way of life. Vote Michael Scharf for Palm Beach Town Council.
When what's inside is important to your family, choose our family. At All My Sons Moving and Storage, we're family owned and operated with over 4 generations of packing, storing, and moving experience. At All My Sons, you get a guaranteed binded price in writing. So, whether we pack the box or you do, or if you're moving 1 mile, 1 city, or 1 state away, let our family move yours. Call or click now to save $100 off your move with All My Sons Moving and Storage.
Do you have loose or missing teeth? Do you cover your mouth when you laugh? Appearance Implants of Jupiter can give you the smile you've always wanted. Call now to schedule your free implant consultation. We have helped thousands of people like you feel confident and secure. And with fees this low, you'll have lots to smile about. Why wait any longer to have the smile you've always wanted? Call now to schedule your free implant consultation. Appearance Implants of Jupiter. Quality dentistry at affordable prices.
After Michael's crash, he called Steiger, Isco & Green.
We got him $400,000.
Money in his pocket.
How much can Steiger, Isco & Green get you?
1-800-561-1111. Non-lawyer spokespersons.
Closed captioning on WPTV is sponsored by Bethesda Health.
Only on 5, the latest in a Scripps national investigation exposing hundreds of convicted military rapists, child molesters, and sex offenders who are not on public sex offender registries. The U.S. Marshal Service is now confirming it is actively investigating. Our national correspondent, Mark Greenblatt, first exposed this problem. He has the new information from Washington.
The U.S. Marshals won't say which sex offenders they're looking into, but a top federal official confirms the agency is actively investigating at least some of the cases the Scripps Washington Bureau first exposed. In November, we told you how hundreds of convicted military sex offenders like Basil Kingsbury slipped through cracks in the system. The Army convicted him of rape and forcible sodomy at a court-martial, but he's nowhere to be found on any public sex offender registry today. Our reporting prompted a 3-state manhunt that is ongoing.
Anytime we have a sex offender who is not registered as required by law, that is a matter of public safety.
And when there are hundreds of them that are unregistered?
That is a disaster waiting to happen.
Now, the civilian U.S. Marshals Service tells us as resources permit, they'll take a look. One official added, the Marshals Service actively investigates former military personnel discharged for sex offenses and not complying with registration requirements, including some of those published by Scripps. We do not discuss ongoing active investigations or information regarding specific individuals. Over at the Pentagon, a spokesperson for the Department of Defense reinforces the DoD takes this issue very seriously and will have a new policy out by early this spring intended to make sure that military sex offenders comply with the law. That new policy will include some kind of partnership with the Marshals Service. For now, the DoD won't provide more details. Mark Greenblatt for the Scripps National Bureau in Washington.
All right, so imagine driving a van for 13 years and not even realizing it was loaded with thousands of dollars worth of marijuana. That's just what happened to a family in New Mexico. A mom had been toting her kids around in it, not realizing what was hidden inside. The pot was discovered when a door handle had to be replaced, exposing it tucked away inside the passenger door.
We never would have expected this to happen to us. You know, just a normal small town family. We never would have expected that. So just always be cautious.
Well, there you go. Police say they believe that marijuana is at least 15 years old.
Now, Storm Team 5 with South Florida's most accurate weather forecast.
That's a crazy story. Okay, let me show you what's happening on the satellite radar composite picture here. No rainfall around, really no clouds around over Florida this afternoon. Temperatures, though, quite a bit different from yesterday. Remember, we had a cold front move through the area yesterday. Today, we're 7 degrees cooler than we were just 24 hours ago in Vero Beach, about 5 degrees cooler than we were yesterday at this time in West Palm Beach. So what are our temperatures right now? Well, remember, on average, this time of year, this time of day, we're hovering in the low to mid 70s. We find ourselves in the low 60s in Vero Beach, Sebastian, 62 Fort Pierce, 61 Okeechobee, Stewart, our sensor there picking up 59 degrees, 61 West Palm, Riviera Beach at 60, about 62 in Boynton, 62 Belle Glade, right around 65 in Boca, Deerfield, and Pompano this afternoon. Here's what's happening right now. Cold front moved through yesterday. It's attached to that big storm system up in the northeast. And we've got another area of low pressure developing. It's moving over to the east here with another cold front here. This cold front will swing through our area late tonight and early tomorrow morning. So it's going to give us an extra shot of cooler air, which will keep our temperatures low again tonight and tomorrow. But after that, as we get to Thursday and Friday, high pressure builds in from the Gulf of Mexico and we'll start to warm up. Our winds will become a little more easterly and even southerly as we head into the weekend. Let me show you what our temperatures look like over the next 5 days or so. Tomorrow, once again, high temperatures in the 60s. And then as we get to Thursday, back into the low 70s, and right in here, Friday and Saturday, we get to our average highs for this time of year. Now, it does look like we'll get another little cold front late Friday or early Saturday, which will keep us in the low to mid 70s, but then we warm up on Super Bowl Sunday. So, small craft advisory for boaters today. Seas 6 to 8 feet, inland waters choppy. And that small craft advisory until tomorrow night. High temperatures today, mid to upper 60s, lots of sunshine. Those gusty, chilly winds, though, making it feel cooler than the actual temperatures. Tonight, dropping down into the 40s. Cuddle cast in effect, little bit of a wind chill with winds out of the northwest, so cold morning again tomorrow, and then sunny and chilly throughout the day with temperatures again in the 60s. Then we warm up into the 70s Thursday and Friday, and as we head into the weekend, we've got two big things going on, of course. The Komen Race for the Cure on Saturday.
Just a unique snack when you're watching the big game. Mr. Food's Test Kitchen, he's come up with something. It promises to give you a new way to pig out.
These days, wherever we look, we find bacon in one form or another. Obviously, it started by being